And we are technically live.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Frost and Fist, and it's your with brother Mythos Cushionata.
And I am El Frico, and welcome to the show. We've got this guy.
An amazing guest.
Hello.
Welcome back to the channel, IDIC BEER 40K.
Thank you for having me again. It's a pleasure to be on.
And yes, we're not worthy. Based on the last issue that we had last time you were here, it was like, it felt so bad, man. It felt so horrible.
Especially considering
Last
that I got
time
up like 3 o'clock in the morning, didn't I?
Last time on the Frost and Fist Friday Night Live Chat. A literal tornado came through town and shut down my power here. And with the tornado taking out the power, I attempted to do the live stream by candlelight, literal candlelight, and lost power to my phone about an hour into the stream, right about the time that the Lord of Necrons himself comes on.
Yep.
And somehow me ducking out and him popping in at the same time caused all kinds of sound issues, audio visual issues. Like, we just could not get it together, that stream.
Yep. And now we have everybody and their mamas at home streaming everything, downloading everything, doing things online, good and bad. And here we are.
This must be nature speaking. How is it we have a natural disaster every time?
Every time
we get this legend of legends on the show.
Right? Last time it was a natural disaster. Now we got a biological one. And who's on the other side of this? There's Nick.
Actually, Nick from Old Average Brit Gaming has it right. It wasn't a tornado why I had the candle lights out. It was to provide a romantic mood, you know, for when Senpai IDIC BEER came on.
That's it. That goes with the music. There we go. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Notice me, Senpai. Tell me about Necrons.
Nick, it's so great to have you back, and hopefully we can do a redemption show here, man. Because like I said, we totally like that last one. So
No, it's fine. I did enjoy it. I always enjoy hanging out with you guys. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, just about everybody knows who you are here, but I mean, to us, you are the one who actually, you know, yeah, it's like, hey, those guys there. And we turned around and we're like, us? You talking to us? Mythos, does this shirt make me look fat?
Just like that time we were outside his window.
Right, exactly. Throwing rocks.
Yeah, that was definitely the best clip anyone had sent in for that line scene.
But I mean, that's how we felt. It's like, oh my God, you know, he really responded? You know, Mythos was already fanboying like crazy, and he got me into fanboying, and was like, oh gosh, okay, he's actually all right. Next thing you know, like promoting the heck out of our channel. I'm like, wow, we've never forgotten that. So we, you know, you're the one who kind of gave us a big break. So we appreciate that.
That's it. How are you doing with your channel at the moment? How many subscribers have you got?
We're somewhere in the 600.
675.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been in this nice, steady, slow decline. Incline, not decline. It'd be bad if it was a decline. So, but no, we're slowly climbing, and it's fine. We're okay with that because it's steady. It's solid. You know, we're not getting, you know, these crazy ups and downs. It's just a nice, you know, nice steady climb.
Steady flow.
Yeah, and
it's the best way. It's the best way.
Yeah, and we're having fun with it. You know?
Speaking of people who support us, I just want to go through the chat and shout out everybody who's here tonight and joining us, and
today,
and apologize. So it's my fault why we've had a late start. I misunderstood between time our wonderful guest would be getting home and time he would be ready. and so I set up the stream for the wrong time. So that's 100% my fault.
We just got
Because we're professionals here at the Frost and Fist, guys.
only the best.
But welcome to the Saturday streaming with our UK friends, guys. Glad to have you on the show tonight. And as always, we are both part of the IDIC BEER Wargamers Unification Group, and of course, the Chilling Network. So thank you for joining us tonight.
The gauntlet is
today,
down.
guys. I'm so used to saying tonight. Yeah, Friday. We've got, of course, our Inquisitor Zane in the chat. Always a steadfast supporter. We've got our Smash Captain Archer in the chat.
Oh, he's ready.
We've got the Spud from the Chilling Wargamers here. Says, wow, just in time for all the American sexiness. Oh, yeah.
Gauntlet.
It's gauntlet time. Challenges now.
Challenges now. Why does it sound like Arnold
Got Wolf
Schwarzenegger?
Wraith in the chat.
All right.
Got Old Average Bird, of course, who, while we were waiting on the stream, he said that Nick might get his Noise Marines painted faster. Ooh, that was a burn.
Wow.
We got Wooden Spoon Wargaming. Welcome to the show. We got this guy called IDIC BEER 40K in the chat. Clay Dog. Always glad to have Brother Clay Dog in the chat. We've got Brother Hellchild. We've got Brother Kev from the Hobby Corner. We've got the TMP. So we got some amazing people. Of course, we got Old Average Brit Gaming and Spect. So
right.
That's awesome. Steady and solid is the best way. So definitely got some support there. We got Richard Smith. Shame, Mythos, shame. I'm going to have to do a naked walk through the streets like the Queen, guys.
Don't do it.
Shame.
Don't do it.
Shame.
No. Not without the bow
Why
tie.
is he wearing a bow tie?
Right. That's exactly right. Not without the bow tie, bro.
Awesome. Great to have everybody in the stream tonight. So, Nick, we always love to start with a hobby update. Would you like to share what you've been working on?
Absolutely.
Or as I like to say,
Same thing I've been working on for about 18 months. But I'm nearly finished, and that's my 36 Noise Marines. And funny enough, I've actually finished painting them. So I am just about to put the decals on, the decals. And then all I have to do is the rim of the bases, varnish them, and they're done. So pretty exciting. It's
awesome.
When you get to the end of a project, I don't know about you, but I always get a bit of an adrenaline rush. So especially if it's like the really small fine detail you're painting, your hand starts shaking. It's like, I'm nearly finished.
I think actually, if we go back in time, I think actually I had no hair on my face when you started painting those Noise Marines.
Quite possibly. Yeah, it's been a lot of work.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I've calculated it's well over 500 hours I've painted. Been painting them.
That's
and probably about 200 hours, I reckon, to build and convert them and do all the bases, because all the bases was loads of green stuff work. So yeah, it's a lot of time, but it'd be worth it, and I've enjoyed them. Yeah.
Awesome. Freak, my man, what you got going on this week?
Well, as y'all know, I work at a hospital as IT, and it's been absolutely nonstop. So, I mean, by the time I got home, it was just, you know what, I just want to just crash. So I've been going to bed early, around 9:30, just to try to keep my my immune system up and going. You know, with all this stuff that's going on out there, I have been, however, able to put together mostly my Tor Garridon, and I'm really looking forward to painting and stuff. But man, it's just been really rough, kind of slow going because of everything going on. So it's been nonstop. What's crazy is that I didn't expect this. You know, we're not considered essential. Right, essential to anything. And so the director and the head nurse came to my office, and they gave me a little thing of hand sanitizer, and they said, "Here, pull out your badge." I'm like, "What? You taking my badge?" No, I want you to hand it out, hold it out. And she did, and she slapped a essential personnel sticker on it. I'm like, crap. So that means that everybody else will probably get to go home and work from home, except for this guy. So.
Man, I just sent you a meme that is applicable to my hobby update. Oh, you played a little Final Fantasy this week, right? Got your Black Mage going again.
Well, no, it's only my White Mage.
Oh, you're working on your White Mage.
Yeah, my White Mage mostly. So let's see here.
Right on.
I like it. You did.
So, you mentioned that, everybody else gets to work from home. I got to say, working from home ain't always cracked up to be.
You actually have to work.
So Monday, I got put into work from home status. And so I'm in the security field, as most of you know. And as security management, of course, we've been responding to needs of customers all over the country. And everything is like, how we're going to handle the situation. Of course, I can't go into any details, nor do I really want to talk about work right now. But I have been kind of working late most of these nights. And I think I put in somehow maybe more hours working from home than actually driving out to the sites. It's been crazy. So I have had very precious little hobby done this week myself. However, I have gotten a few things done. Doing our Saturday painting with our patrons chats. That's been really helpful. So I have almost got 500 points of salamanders cranked out. I think this is the fastest I've put out any sort of army for a while. Right now I'm working on a squad of 5 Hellblasters, and they're coming along pretty well. The base right now, I know that's a very, very rough blend of the colors, but that's because there's going to be Mordant Earth going over top of it and just crackle effects. So the colors are just really there to show through the cracks. But yeah, working on the Hellblasters, going to do some glow effects with the airbrush on the plasma coils and stuff like that.
Very nice.
So once I get the squad of 5 Hellblasters done, I'll put some decals on all of them. I'll clean the base up, and then, of course, the Mordant Earth step. Let's not forget that. And then they'll be ready to go, and I can finally put aside the Salamander's work. So there'll be 500 points that my brother can play with. We got brother Oni just joined the chat. So there's been that, and then of course, between steps of waiting for stuff to dry while working on that, and kind of while I was there goes the meme. I really thought, man, working from home, I'm going to get so much stuff painted this week. And I feel like Morgan Freeman there is calling me out specifically.
He, in fact, did not paint his miniatures.
That's been me this week. That's been me. So, brother Debunka shared that meme. And I was like, I feel really called out. I got to steal that. The other thing I've been working on in between drying times and stuff like that, or like during our last Friday night live stream, is working a little bit on this guy, blocking in some colors and stuff like that. And I really, there we go. I don't know, I really like the effect. It's just the red wings really make this miniature pop. Is it super white Scarsy? Probably not, but I just love the look. So there's that.
What is that mythos?
It is a Contemptor Dreadnought, specifically a White Scars Horus Heresy Contemptor Dread. I just plan on taking it as a Relic Contemptor in 40k. And these wings are from an Age of Sigmar Stormcast Eternal set. They're usually a knight in shining armor with 2 wings and a couple of hammers. But what happened is I was showing off for the camera during a live stream. I was like, hey, check out these Age of Sigmar guys I got from my brother Oni here in the chat. And I laid it down, and then I was like, I've also been working on this Dreadnought, and laid it down and laid the Dreadnought on top of the wings. And I came out to paint the next morning, and I saw the way the Dreadnought looked on the wings. I'm like, I have to do that now. That just looks really cool. So we have a flying White Scars Dreadnought.
So I got the grandkids over here, and
just
one of them
real
just
cool.
opened the door and let Marley in. So hang on a second.
Let's see. Catching up with the chat. Spec says I'll be over in 20 minutes for that Nurgle Warhound. That'll be cool. If you can come in 20 minutes, it's yours. How do you do security at home? Do you start placing bear traps, tie some shotguns to doorknobs? I'm a corporate manager, so for me, it's about managing managers who handle things on site. And to be fair, I'm assistant. I'm an assistant.
Assistant to the regional manager.
So really, not really. I'm still nationwide, but I'm just assistant to the main nationwide manager. So really, I just do, the offshoots of, stuff to support my manager. So even doing that, supporting sites all over the U.S., it's been kind of crazy this week. And of course, because everyone's busy, right? Trying to match up what clients need, what corporates need, the people on site who are all swamped and busy, and trying to get everything from everybody. It's kind of crazy. It's like, I know you're handling 52,000 things right now, but we also need this, this, and this.
It's funny. Thursday, I actually had somebody actually just about cussed me out because I told them I was working on a very important person's computer who had actually put in a help desk ticket. They did it right, and this other nurse practitioner walks by and decides that hers was important right now. I need to be able to print. I need a printer now. I'm like, okay, first of all, we don't have schnozberries there, Olga, so you can shut the heck up. And secondly, put in a ticket. And so I told him, look, just put in a ticket and I'll take care of it as soon as I can. Got mad at me, went around the entire first floor just saying what a bad person I was, cussing me out in front of everybody. And I'm like, okay, that's going to make me help you faster. Watch. So yeah, finally she put the ticket in, and I kind of waited a little bit. And by the time I actually went in there, and I said, first of all, next time you put in a ticket, be sure to put details in it, because we have 5 campuses, 2 people actually cover. So you're not the only person whose stuff is on fire. Yeah, so yeah, it's just people's expectations.
Isn't it funny
man.
how the people who usually say, don't you know who I am, are usually the ones that aren't that important?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, yeah, so that was pretty much my week. The life of IT, man. Where's Roxas when I need him?
And then my only other hobby update is, oh cool, I got to get one of these. I'm gonna have to try and venture out to a store today. So the new White Dwarf just looks amazing. My other hobby update is last night. I didn't get done with work until 10 o'clock last night, and by then I was just not in the right headspace to paint. You guys know how it goes sometimes. Like, you're stressed out from work. You're like not necessarily sometimes focused enough to paint sometimes. Some people have the discipline, but I got to be in the mood to paint. If I'm frustrated and pissed off with, things from earlier in the day, then I'm not going to paint well. Sometimes, and I'm a very emotional person, guys. And it's not, when people think of emotional people, they think of weepy people or, very sensitive and in their feelings people. I'm emotional in a different way. And so every emotion is always on my face and in my actions. So when I'm grumpy with something, if I'm trying to paint, I'm stabbing at the paint on the model. It doesn't make for a conducive blend. So I have to work towards the Zen zone. Sometimes it helps me calm down, but if I'm not in the right place for, to paint to start with, it's not going to go well. And then what happens to me is I get a snowball effect. I am frustrated, so I paint badly. and then I'm frustrated because I'm painting badly, so I get more frustrated, and then I'm frustrated for painting worse, and then next thing you know, either Freak or Lily have to deal with a phone call or an in-person rant of, why do I even do this hobby? I just absolutely suck at this hobby. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing something I'm not even doing? I'm just gonna mess it up. So
what I do is I go into the painting area first, but I won't just sit down and like paint. I'll sit down and I'll take 10 minutes to like adjust to the environment, let my eyes adjust to the light, probably just like go on the laptop, maybe watch a video and just like chill out, ready to paint. Sometimes you're right, especially if you're not quite in the mood, you sit down, and if you're not ready, you know, and you get off to a bad start sometimes, don't you? Like your first stroke just goes...
Right, but Mythos doesn't stop though.
Yeah.
He doesn't stop. He's doing this. Why isn't it working? It's not. Oh, God, why? Flipping chickens. Oh. That's.
Yeah, I always find that helps. Just 10 minutes. Just sit in your painting area, so almost prepare your mind before you actually do it.
that's a good tip. That's a good tip.
Just a tip.
You know, just like I guess like when you go into a massage parlor before you get the massage, they have you sit in the place with the Zen music, the calm surroundings. You know, they usually have you turn your phone off before you all that, so you can just sit and soak up the ambience and just get in the right mood, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good tip. I need to start doing that.
Yeah.
Richard Smith knows what you're talking about with the IT. He says, love those corridor help desk cases.
Yep. It makes an
Where
IT person want to carry a taser for that. Yeah.
Miniatures Paintbrush is working on his abhorrent Archregent for his new year, new army. Very nice. I guess I started mine a little bit before the new year, but White Scars is technically my new army. Let's see. We've got Spect on his way to get your Nurgle Titan. Well, I was on my way, and the police asked what I was doing. I told them I was going to go pick up an infected Titan, so they sent me home. Quarantine. Capitan Morgan's War Games just pre-ordered Saga of the Beast, or now CM War Games. I'm sorry. Very cool, very cool, and you can use it in both armies. He plays both, so maybe with these new rules that we'll talk about later on, you know, maybe finally the Necrons on your channel won't keep, you know, defeating the Space Wolves. Maybe they'll finally pull out some wins.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. IDIC BEER is a tough competitor.
I mean, merciless. I've seen some of those games, man. I mean, the look in his face and everything as he's decimating his opponent. He's like, I mean, no mercy. You know, and that's the thing. I really am so glad that I played Mythos for the first time instead of Nick for the first time. You know, because I would have said, you know what, I'm gonna sell all my minis now. I'm done. Thank you. Anybody want a miniature? It's free. Just take it. I'm done.
Which, you know, Necrons are machines, and machines are not programmed for mercy.
True. Have you played your fists much, Freak, since the new rules? Because when I played Nick with his fists, they were disgustingly horrible.
Wow.
We have one test game with the new rules,
right?
For an upcoming battle report. The new rules didn't help him much.
Right. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring my, I'm gonna take my a Redemptor Dreadnought, And I'm going to surround them by these awesome centurions. You know, everything's going to be great.
Brand spanking new, just varnished centurions.
Just put the paint on. I'm going to feel them. This is going to be great. I'm going to be blowing stuff up. I can't wait to start pulling stuff off the table.
Like, I think the showcase came out literally the day before our game.
Yep, I think it was. Yep. And I'm like, okay, so this is great. This is great. And then all of a sudden, you know, Mythos' stupid freaking Siphon Interceptor just comes. Hey, there's something there. Boom. 4 freaking last cannons right up the poop chute. And I'm like, okay, this can't be entirely bad, right? This can't be. I mean, I've been hit before. And he goes, "You want to, CP it?" No, let's see what happens. Well, he finished it off, and oh my God! So it explodes.
And then I asked, "Do you want to CP the 6 to explode?"
Right. I'm like, stupid me. Oh, let's see what happens. Try it. So roll, and not only did it explode, but it exploded all over the place. It was just carnage. Took out my centurions. You know, it's like first turn, turn 1, freaking turn 1, turn freaking 1. I never even got to try the rules. What rules? There were no rules. They did not exist.
Lysander got taken down to 1 HP.
Shut up. I'm muting you. I was so excited. You know, again, oh, well, you know what? I just, you know what? Let me take that back. Heck with that with Mythos. So, yeah, no, he didn't show any mercy. He just came. No, you know what he did? He did offer me to take that CP point, right? Hey, you want to command point this one, freak? I'm like, nah, it was just me. I was just like, no, I'm curious to see what happens, how this would play out. Well, I didn't expect it to play out like that. I didn't expect it to be a mushroom cloud situation where it completely took out one freaking guy. One guy that took out the rest of my freaking army. Bloody hell.
Am I still muted?
No, I hadn't muted you a single bit.
So I lost 1 bike. He lost 2 out of 3 aggressors and all of his centurions. And Lysander went down to 1 wound.
So, whole time, I was like, hey,
one of us came out better than that.
Great! This is a great game. How you like that? Mythos, I got some more models. You want to just take those off too? Huh? Let's just take those off. You know what? Here's some that are still alive. Let's just sweep these off the table. Yeah, that was...
Have some freak with your salt. Unfortunately, so the next game we had played after that, we both ended up having to work that weekend. So our next game got canceled. So that was literally his only test game with the new rules.
Oh, glad I asked.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
let me ask you about that.
So.
So I've seen one of your battle reports that lasted like, what was it, 31 seconds? But that was in your favor, right? Have you ever had a game like that just made you so salty?
Not salty, but I have had a very, very quick game. Like literally, just trying to think. I'm not sure what edition. I think it was 5th edition. I was playing Tyranids. And my buddy was obviously his Blood Angels, and he went first, and I literally lost almost my entire army before I'd done anything. So we literally just scrapped it, and we started again. And the second game was one of those games that just went all the way, like turn 7.
Ooh.
It's just crazy. It's just one of those things, just how it happened. But my most, I suppose you could say, my most famous victory for me was winning without my opponent doing absolutely anything and without me killing anything whatsoever. It was one of those 4th edition extra missions. I think it was called, I can't remember what it was called. It's the one in the middle and you have sentries and stuff, and your opponent can't activate their army until you're within certain inches of their sentries, or if you shoot at them. So I had my little Necron warrior, and I managed to walk all the way to the middle without his sentries getting me. And my buddy, rather than surrounding like the central station with all of his models, he left a tiny little gap. And my warrior just went all the way up, got into the gap, and exploded the center. And that was the end of the game. Literally, not a gun fired, nothing happened.
Wow.
So again, we just set up and had another go. And then on the second time, he surrounded the power station in the middle. But it's games like that which they just stick in your memory, don't they?
Absolutely. First turn checkmate.
Yeah.
All right, catching up with the chat a little bit. Let's see. Oh, I love when Freak is freaking out. Oh boy. Oni Studio, just ignore them. Mini Warmut, I'm listening to you all while driving home from work. Hope all is well. Drive safely, my friend, and thanks for listening. And Dreadwog, the Dreadwog Gaming. Dreadwog says, well, you had one of our finest on, so I had to join. Hello, Nick. He'll be bruised and battered. He'll be a bruised and battered Necron after I finish him with my next battle. That's what CM Wargame says. The smack talk is starting already.
It is. The gauntlet is down.
I am expecting to Richard to beat me.
That's the feeling of a
The gauntlet is down. The challenge is now.
I am expecting Richard to beat me a few times soon because I'm going to bring out a few fluffy lists.
Very nice, very nice. Also, you mentioning that first turn kill from your Blood Angels friend, I'm like, now I know why the Blood Angels get the beat down every time. Poor Blood
To be
Angels.
fair, my buddy used to beat me all the time, especially when I got my Aldar army, because going from Necrons and Tyranids to Aldar, I mean, Aldar are quite a finesse army. They're actually quite hard to play. And especially in the old days, they weren't sort of ballistic skill 3 like they are now. They were ballistic skill 4. They hit on 4s. And they were quite a hard army to play. And at the time, he was playing Orcs. And that's when Thraka was around, when he was like really good. And you had wound allocation with the knobs and the knob bakers. And I was playing this army, just getting used to it. And he used to beat me every single week. In actual fact, that's why I started looking online, like, how do you play Aldar? And that's when I came across Fritz's videos. And I learned, obviously, some Aldar tactics from him. And then that inspired me to get onto YouTube. So, yeah, but my buddy, before YouTube, my buddy used to beat me pretty much all the time.
An origin story, just like, a comic book hero.
Yeah.
A hobby hero origin story. I love it. So we have Fritz to thank for this amazing IDIC BEER content nowadays.
Absolutely, yeah. If there's no Fritz, there'd be no IDIC BEER.
Kev from the Hobby Corner says, Necrons!
Necrons!
Oni says, Papa Freak needs a nap.
Bloody hell.
And Dreadwog says, one of us greenskins will get him sooner or later. Let's see. Should definitely tune in for that one. Really hoping to have a 2,000 point list painted by July so I can start getting some collaborations in the form of battle reports. That'll be cool to see. Oh, Lady Dragon says, hello, my lovely Darklings, peeking in from work.
Hello, hello.
Yep, good to see you. Let's see. I think we are all caught up. Table domination, you'll get him on objective games for sure. Well, lots of toys when we played the orcs for sure. All right. So that is our hobby update. Freak, you want to go into one of our news topics? What you want to do next, my brother? You want to ask our guests some of the questions?
Yeah, I mean, we can do that. We also have Art of the Week. I mean, how are we gonna do this?
I've liked how the last 2 times we've been doing Art of the Week after the main topic because we sometimes spend too much time on Art of the Week.
That's true.
And some of the questions I want to put to Nick have to do with some of the news.
All right, well, let's do it, man. Go ahead and kick it off.
All right, which article you want to go with first?
You
have a preference?
No, hang on. Let me set it up here. Oh, GW.
My camera is...
Blue.
Nope. Focus. There we go.
Don't tell me what to do. That one. And in the other one, we've got...
Let's see. We just make you off track in the middle of the stream no matter what. I mean, that happens. Being a Wolf channel, how many times has Nick played against the Wolves and what was the outcome?
I've played against Wolves. However many times Richard has played Wolves against me. I think 2, maybe 2. And I think I won them both. But I'm sure Richard will correct me if there's any different results.
One of those was one of those really quick games that we were talking about. One of those was, I think, the bridge one.
We had a game
that's
for my big Necron bridge once. I remember that one.
Yep.
That was Space Wolves.
That one was almost painful. Just because the Necrons were rolling so well.
Okay, so we can do Space Wolves, the new rules for the new saga.
Absolutely. Actually, can we do the Sunday preview first? Now that I think about it, I want to look at the models before we go into the rules, if that's okay with you.
I'm good.
Well, I know you're good.
Hey.
You know what I mean.
Follow me.
All right. So, Nick, have you seen the new models? I mean, you almost have to.
About 1 billion times.
Wow.
You almost have to have not been looking at the internet to see the new models. The sculpts have been posted everywhere. They look amazing. I like the memes with the tennis balls. Those are my favorite. Especially the one where you've just got a Fenrisian wolf chasing after the ball. All right, taking a look at these Sunday preview Beast versus Other Beasts. So the box set, of course, almost a week out now because it got announced on Sunday and we do our shows on Friday. So almost a week out. And we got to take a look at the contents of the box set. And I have pretty strong feelings on this. Overall, I personally am not happy with the box. Now, is it still worth getting? I mean, because I have multiple armies, sure, but just doesn't feel very wolfy. So taking a look here, we've got on the wolf side, we've got Ragnar, 10 infiltrators / incursors, and that's pretty much it for the loyalist side. And then, of course, for the Wog, it's a very small Wog, I guess, because it's just his bodyguard group. But we got some Grots, we got some knobs, and then we've got some mega knobs. And you guys got the raw deal. You only get one Space Wolf. That's exactly the way I feel. Grumpy. Good to see you, Grumpy, my man. Another amazing painter over on our IDIC BEER Wargamers Unification group. So my problem here is, of course, I love the orc side, honestly, because, I mean, Makari, Gaz, the Mega Knobs, those are really cool models. I love that they include Mega Knobs.
They're pretty beefy.
Just because they seem like the beefy unit. Yeah, absolutely. That would go with Gaz. They're basically, orc Terminators on steroids. So I freaking love Mega Knobs, and they're to me some of the coolest models. And in fact, I have a box of Mega Knobs that I got gifted by my brother Daz that I want to snatch up. Well, I mean, I already have it, but break that out and paint it up at some point. I've got so much on my painting queue right now, but I really want to break out the Mega Knobs at some point. But as a Space Wolf player, infiltrators slash incursors are like one of the shootiest, Primaris units, and I mean they're basically your SWAT guys of the Primaris range, right? I mean, you got silenced carbines, tactical harnesses. These just don't feel like the guys that should be escorting the Wolf Lord, who, by the way, is famous for usually leading large packs of blood claws in his army because he likes getting in the mix. He likes getting into that melee pistol range. So for that, you have some non-melee guys escorting one of the most melee heavy of all primary or all Wolf Lords. What? That thematically feels wrong to me. And a lot of people complain. They're like, yeah, there should have been something wolf specific, and I never felt like there was going to be something wolf specific, except maybe could you have thrown us in an upgrade sprue, please? But I never felt like there was going to be something wolf specific, because the purpose of these boxes is to put out more Primaris stuff that everybody's going to want to buy, right?
Yeah,
that's the way I feel from a business standpoint. But I did feel like if you're going to give us some Primaris, can we get something? Can we finally get some more close combat Primaris? But even if you were going to work with the existing Primaris, can we get some Reavers or Aggressors? Something that got a little melee punch, Not like some of the shootiest tactical, These look like the guys who are on they look like they belong more in a Call of Duty or Counter-Strike kind of environment, bunker down behind some terrain and shoot out over the top, not some jump over the terrain and get in the mix with some melee kind of guys, right? And I know the purpose is that, hey, we want to show everybody we just released this infiltrator set that you can also upgrade to incursors. Let's sell this new stuff. But it just feels like a Primaris tax. Like, hey, let's put in these two models everybody wants, and that'll force them to also buy these infiltrators and these knobs here. I feel like that's what they've done, is given us a tax. The same kind of upscale.
It's a broken kit. It's
like
basically they sent us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like when your waiter tries to offer you wine at the dinner table. They're trying to get that extra sale in addition to what you already asked for. Except, GW's made it mandatory kind of here in this box. Anyways, I went on a little rant there. Didn't let you guys speak any words on it. What are your guys' thoughts on the box?
Well, first of all, the Ragnar model, I think, looks awesome. I don't necessarily think it needs to be a Primaris version of him. Why can't it just be a normal Space Wolf one? Why has it got to have Primaris there? Apart from, obviously, it's the future, isn't it? But yeah, I really love the model and the pose and everything. It looks very cool. I obviously have the 13th Company Space Wolf, so effectively Ragnar's not there. We just have Wolf Lords. But I did convert the very old metal Ragnar into my Wolf Lord. And yeah, I mean, compared to him, this new sculpt is very cool. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, apart from that new model, I mean, the other Space Wolf stuff in there is not great, is it? And I doubt that Ragnar's going to be as the same cost as Thraka, because obviously Thraka is a much bigger model. So even from that point of view, you're getting less value from the whole box. So if it was me, I'd probably just wait and either get a second-hand Ragnar or wait until they just release him as a model by itself.
Very smart thoughts. Frank, what do you think about the box?
I have to agree.
Just on the facts that you gave me.
Yeah. No, I have to agree. I mean, when I saw it, I felt like we were getting an incomplete set, especially the Space Wolf side. I mean, you've got, like you said, it's a heavy melee character, and the rest is just, all right, well, hey, while you charge up there, we'll just shoot over your head. You know, it doesn't make sense. It's not a logical, you know, set. It doesn't make any sense. You know, I would have expected maybe, you know, some cavalry go along with it, or even from region wolves. You know, that would have been cool. Okay, just throw a couple of puppies in there, something to, you know, to kind of balance what Ragnar's all about, and they didn't do it. You know, they decided they were just gonna, you know, they're gonna throw the sizzle, and they're gonna put some fries on the side. You know, this is like a gorgeous steak,
Yep.
a wonderful, you know, juicy 16-ounce ribeye, you know, and they're gonna throw some fries on the side. Really? That's
Right,
that's
and there's
what I
nothing
get.
wrong with fries, right?
I love
There's
fries
nothing
in
wrong with
context.
infiltrators, but they don't really match.
They don't go with
Right,
this.
right. They don't really go with this porterhouse.
No,
Yeah.
it's like, come on. I mean,
No, I agree,
okay,
brother.
you can at least, you know, step me up, give me some onion rings. You know, and so yeah, no, I totally agree. I think now on the orc side, I think they got exactly what they needed. He's got the main boss and he's got supporters. That's what it's supposed to be. But on the wolf side,
Yep.
no, like what? Not even a psyker. I mean, nothing. You gave nothing. You put that guy
And
by
you know what's cool
himself.
is that I feel like to go with your porterhouse and fries analogy, I feel like Gaz, nice porterhouse of his own, right? And Mega Knobs, I mean, they're beastie melee units as well. You
Yeah.
get punched by one of them in the face, and they'll tear things apart. You know, they're a good melee unit. They can have other weapons on them too, but they are definitely no chumps in combat. So I feel
I
like,
think
you know, the orc side, while say for orcs, you know, they're low model count. I feel like they got a pretty good side, and as opposed to our side that just feels thematically very loose.
And I'm going to say this because some people will say, you know, hey, it's okay. You know, the wolves, at least we're getting some wolf love. Okay, that's good if you're okay with settling. If you are all right with settling, then have it. This is your cup of tea. This is great. I'm not saying it's a bad kit. I'm not saying it's an absolutely terrible kit. I'm saying it's an unbalanced kit. And it's settling. This is what you call settling. So
Yeah, and if two friends bought that kit, split it, you know, and built it and painted it and played, one person's going to be a bit disappointed with the results, aren't they?
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's
Yeah.
not balanced, is my whole point.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
and you know, Rob brings up the point. Well, what choice do we have? Yeah, well, yeah, we can just sit there and, you know, roll over and die, or we can make us think about it. I mean, here's the thing: they do listen. I mean, there are forums that people are going to blow this up. I'm serious. We're not the only ones that are seeing this. We're not the only ones that are seeing it's a discrepancy. This is what you call a discrepancy. I have to think of this as a logical perspective here, and it is not. In no way, shape, or form at all remotely, possibly logical.
You know what's funny is the what can we do? See, the thing is that I'll still love the Ragnar model when it comes out. And do I need infiltrators? Not for my wolves, but I have other armies. So, I mean, I'll happily take them, but I'm still going to bitch about it. You know, I'm one of those guys. Like, I'll do whatever. I'll do the work. I might bitch about it, but I'll do the work.
Yeah.
Or in this case, I'll take the models. I'm just going to bitch about it.
I mean, this is
Because, like you said, if
yeah.
a voice is one of those things that it may or may not have an effect, but if there's no voice to air out, you know, what we see as you know, if there's no voice to air out our opinions, then nobody knows, right?
Right.
Grumpy Guy says to him, Ragnar's pose looks like a psyker. He thinks he'll add a bolt pistol.
That's a
I
good point.
actually like that there's no bolt pistol myself, and I know
Really?
it's iconic of Ragnar, but I feel like when a man's got 10 attacks, for me, and this is just my personal opinion, I don't really feel the need to have the bolt pistol because, and again, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I feel like a bolt pistol is one of the most inconsequential weapons in the game. So
It's just good for
will
aesthetics,
take
I
10
think.
attacks over a pistol any day. Yeah, I kind of like the reaching out while slashing the sword, but I know that's all personal opinion.
Yeah.
If I printed out some pelts and put some pelts on them, I think they would look pretty sick, but not very fluffy. And if I'm doing a successor chapter anyways, I'm just playing because I want dogs in my army. Yeah, they can be useful, but yeah, it's just the thematicness that I have a problem with. The only good thing are the characters, in Grumpy Guy's opinion. I'd hope the box will be similar to ELA. I'm not sure. I mean, Ragnar looks. CM Wargame says, I mean, Ragnar looks awesome, but it doesn't make up for a lack of Space Wolves units. Yeah, like I said, I never thought that this was going to be about selling Space Wolves. I always thought this was going to be about selling Primaris. But yeah, I mean, something that would go well with Space Wolves would have been nice. Like I said, I think Reavers or Aggressors, both being very, very melee capable, would have been great additions to this set.
Right, and justify the cost.
But, something melee. Right. Wouldn't hurt for GW to supply some pelts. Right, give us an upgrade sprue or something. Let's see. They're like, here's some orcs. Now you get a Space Marine army that will be super overpowered, and everybody will buy like 3 of the bucks, be used for a couple of months, and then nerfed useless. That's possible. I do have a Warlord from Burning Prospero box. Says spec. Paint them up. Maybe you could paint them up with 3 colors plus black. Miniatures Paintbrush says, I'm getting the box and grateful that the Wolves are getting some love in any capacity. I'm glad that they're getting some love too. And what's funny is, so the thing is that I am bitching a lot. Am I going to get the box? Well, I have a friend who plays Orcs and already asked if anyone was interested in splitting. And to be honest, I only want Ragnar for the Space Wolves. The Incursors I think will fit in nicely with my White Scars. I don't anticipate them being useful in my Space Wolves, but they'll help me fill out my battalion for my White Scars. So, they'll find a use. I'm just disappointed with the thematicness of this box. Plus, half a box is way cheaper than an entire box. I do want for my Orcs a Gaz at some point to go with my Meganobs. I just want to paint them up.
GW know this though, don't they? This is their way of getting as much money back as they can for the characters. They probably already made enough profit on all of those other minis that are in there. So this is their way of basically pushing the price up as much as possible on those 2 new models to get you to buy them before they release them sort of individually. And I suppose the other thing as well with Psychic Awakening and all the releases is that some factions are doing better than others, aren't they? And I think clearly this particular release is obviously more about the Orcs. The Space Wolves, obviously, they promised that every army is going to get a new model or something new, and we've got a new model. That's what they've given us. But the main focus really is on Thraka, isn't it? Let's face it. I mean, he's big and he bad, and I
do have a question on that because I mean, you're looking. Okay, you look at. Well, I guess it's about this. I mean, it's not that his head is huge. He's got a huge armor. So I mean, I'm looking at perspective here. The size, but that's just because he's bulked up.
Oh no, like size-wise, he's going to be like. He's going to be beefier than Gilliman. He's going to be a big boy.
Yeah.
And he looks like I could run underneath him, give him a little poke with my finger, and he'd just fall over. Assuming you can avoid that big claw, that is.
Right. Speaking of the size, oh hey, Brother Lars is here in the chat. Lars says Orc side of the box definitely makes more sense and it's definitely unbalanced. Where's this other one I was looking at just a second ago? Something on that tangent. It says Gaz alone will probably cost as much as Gilliman in the end, which is about the cost of the entire box. So, yeah, I mean, Gaz is definitely a beefy presence. He takes up a good chunk of that box set. I was hoping for close combat options like chain swords. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me catch up with the chat real quick before we carry on. The real question is why the orc force is so small and elite. Because the story here is that Ragnar has taken a covert squad and snuck up on Gaz and his bodyguard retinue. So that's why it's elite, is because he's basically catching him without his army. And which I think if you're going to try and assassinate an orc leader, the way you do it, you don't attack him with 300 boys around you. We all like the blood splats that come out of the holes when we run it. Just makes us look cool, so why bother with armor? The big issue is you got more wolves troops than orcs. Looks like orcs became an elite force. Like I said, this is elite bodyguard force around him. New melee-focused aggressors, please. That would be amazing. I want some kind of Primaris Assault Marine. I think that's basically what the Reavers are. But it would be nice if, I missed when at the beginning when they were first released, they went back and FAQ'd it or whatever. But at first you could put a power sword on a Reaver Sergeant, and the fact that you could get into close combat first turn with a power weapon, I think some people felt like it was a little unbalanced. But that would be really cool if they had some close combat weapons again with Reaver. I dislike the aggressor model too, but they might as well if they're trying to replace Terminators. I love Terminators, but I love the aesthetic of aggressors more. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I just like the smooth look of Primaris, and I know that's an unpopular opinion, but
I'd love to see.
What do you think,
Nick?
What is your thought?
I'd like to see Thunderwolf cavalry.
I would love to see some Primaris.
That would be Wolfie,
Yes.
wouldn't it? Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my god, that would be so Wolfie. Primaris Thunderwolves would be so cool. Archer says the Reavers aren't. Their melee is garbage. That's what I'm saying, is if you could give them a weapon that would make melee worthwhile. Because with the knife doing the same thing that chain swords do, I mean, they're like assault Marines that you can't upgrade weapons for, unfortunately. If you could upgrade their weapons, yeah, they'd be just like assault Marines, which would make them so much better. You can assassinate them with a heck of a lot of eliminator coordinating shots from a long way away. That's true, but wolves are more prone to sneak up and get some melee going than they are to take shots at a distance. That would be more like a Raven Guard or Iron Hand count.
I don't know.
So I'm
Matthias.
from GW, so I should get my data.
What about the old days, though? 15 long fangs with missile launchers. Wolves in their heyday, when they were top tables, it was all about shooting, wasn't it? All those rhinos.
That's true. I do like
with the las cannons and las plas razorbacks and long fangs. It was all shooty. That's when they were top tables.
Yeah. The lore doesn't ever talk about them just sitting back while they get bombed from a distance. You know what I mean? It just doesn't match the story that are out there. I hate that they killed Ragnar's wolves. Spoiler. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I hate that too. Somebody needs to call PETA.
Though, I would actually field them. I would take two Thunderwolves and I would still pose them side by side, right next to them with the new Ragnar, just for kicks and giggles. I think
you can take
cool.
lone cyber wolves, so you can do that.
I
think that'd be neat.
How about the matchup with Ragnar and Thraka? Who's going to win?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yep, and we actually have some faction breakdowns for each of them, so we can all debate it. But I feel like, hands down, Gazgul is going to be able to take out any other character in the game, not even trying. And the reason is that he's got this really neat rule now. Yeah, by himself, take out any other character. because he has this rule now where he can only take a maximum of 4 damage per phase. So that means even if you get the max number of wounds in your shooting phase and your psychic phase and your assault phase, you can only do a total of 12 wounds to him if everything goes perfectly. You know, so he's just going to be able to
How many wins
outlast.
has he got?
If you
Is
get
it
him
12
and
wins?
even
12 wins, yeah?
I want to say it's 14. I could be wrong.
The Necrons will definitely not be
Let
able to
me
do
double
it. We've got no psychic phase. I suppose we could use
Well,
the
you've got
powers
your
of,
not psychic powers.
yeah.
Yeah. The not psychic powers. Double checking. Yeah, I don't have a stat line handy, but I'm sure one of these amazing wolf players in the chat can tell us. I want to say it's 14. Oh, no, it's 12. Clay Dog is correcting me. So if everything went perfectly, you could 1 round him.
Then he's got a 2
The only one who
save.
might not is Gilliman because he bounces.
It's got a 2+ save and a 4+ invuln, isn't it?
Yep. But he's a beefy boy. So I really feel like he's just going to outlast most other characters in a one-on-one matchup.
Yeah.
So if you are using everything and you put out a Psyker or a Necron to deal some damage to him, and then you shoot him for 4 damage, and then you melee him for 4 damage, theoretically you could 1 round him, but everything would have to go perfectly. But just Claydog says, I think Morty would be okay against him. Yeah, Mortari can get super beefy as well. And I suppose if you got all of Magnus's psychic powers off, you know, and he got his invul save and all that ready to go. I mean, he might be okay, but I really feel like in the end, if 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4 times, Gazgul versus any other character would just be straight up win for the orcs.
Which, to be fair,
if
is
I
good.
play Gaz, he's probably getting teleported.
I think that's good though that he's like that, because I mean he always was like a unit to be feared, and I think now he is again.
Oh yeah, I'm actually not salty about that at all, because I feel like the orcs got stepped on for so many years. You know, I feel like they need a big beefy threat. You know, and this is perfect.
Yeah.
Even their big stompy mobile units. You know, your gosh, I don't remember what they're called. I knew right until I was about to say, yeah, the Gorkanauts and whatnot. You know, they tend to get killed pretty early in the game, and they're just not reliable with their damage and stuff like that. But I mean, this is a big serious threat. You know, so instead of just being orcs win by numbers, they can also be like, hey, I've also got this thing here in the middle that everybody's going to fear.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. I like it.
No, I definitely think that the orcs got a good hand given to them. I totally believe that. I think it looks great overall. He's got he's got his support, but I just wish that it was a more of a balanced set. This is definitely this box is definitely orc sided for sure. And again, not throwing any shade on the orcs individually. I just wish that they would have balanced the Ragnar with a better team, with a more melee heavy team. And it doesn't have to be as powerful. No, I'm not salty. It's just I don't like imbalances. I don't like it. I can't stand it. And the thing is, we have to bend over and take it. That's the part that really drives me. It's not so much being salty that they It's just I don't like the idea of them ramming this stuff down our throats without even discussing, with the community. At the very beginning, remember, the whole campaign was the community drives everything now. Ever since there have been changes at the very top, they said, "Well, we're listening to the community. We hear you. We're going to make some changes," and they had made some really great changes. 8th edition, some other things that came around, but now, you're starting to see some irregularities again, and it's like, what's going on? So what's driving it? And we kind of see, we know what it is. It's definitely the bottom line, right? But it is what it is.
Also, I do want to point out that we're definitely not salty about orcs getting some love.
Not at all.
I know a lot of Xenos players are always like, "What about us?" And it's our time to finally get something. And man, we are so glad the orcs are getting some love. It's just, we all want to see love for our own factions, right? And of course, I do appreciate that wolves are getting some love with the new book and with the new model. And it's just, I wish they put more consideration and not an afterthought into the wolf half of the box. I definitely feel like they nailed the orcs in it, and I really want to paint up the models of the orc side of the box. So someday in the future, I may try and get that half of the box for my orcs. But for now, I wish you'd put a little more melee focus into the box. But that's 8th edition, right? Right, big focus on shooting, right?
Yep.
They should have brought Russ back. Yeah. You guys, I don't have the energy to rant about that anymore. Just of the 2 chaos, 1 loyal. I'm at the point now where I don't even cheer for Russ anymore. I'm just like, bring back a loyal Primarch, any loyal Primarch. Like, I don't even care at this point who it is. Just any loyal Primarch. Right. Anyways, that's a dead horse I beat 3 times.
I'm looking at
I'm
the
really
future.
excited for the.
Yeah, looking at the future, in particular, the Necron release, which is going to happen at some point. It's a little bit edgy at the moment. Like, are we going to get Illuminor, and it's going to be like the Space Wolves release, or are we going to get the Silent King, and it's going to be the Orc side of the release? Because we're going to get one or the other, I think. I have a feeling it will be Illuminor. But obviously with the little fluff thing they did. Yeah, with the fluff thing they did, it was all about the Silent King. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the Necrons get.
So educate us who don't know a lot about Necrons. What's Illuminor or Silent King?
Illuminor Zanres is he's like the character with like spider legs. Which is another reason why when the Psychic Awakening was going to be called something of the Spider, War of the Spider, I think it was going to be called, wasn't it? So yeah, he's got these spider legs. So and we've had a leak that Illuminor might be on the cards coming in plastic. So I have a funny feeling it will be.
That explains the meme going around about Necron players when they saw War of the Spider.
Yeah. So
well,
it's
tell
coming.
us about Silent Kings.
Yeah, it's coming with Silent King. Well, as you know, I'm not really a fluff bunny too much, but he's basically he's. I suppose you could almost say he's like the Necron Primarch. He's like the oldest, baddest Necron. It's probably the best and easiest way to explain it. But yeah, if he comes back,
awesome.
with the right rules, he could change Necrons forever.
I mean, between that and the shiny new Seraptic you guys got last year, that could really put some power into the Necrons.
Yeah, especially if that Seraptic gets a 4+ in Von as opposed to the 5+ it's got at the moment. for the points, because 625 points, you see. So yeah, it's a lot of points for a 28 wounds. Good, fine. But yeah, that 5+ save it hurts.
I can see that. So, Nick, I wanted to ask you, now that we've talked about all these amazing models in the range,
Yeah.
many of us have seen that you've done a really beautiful orc commission for CM War Games. Done painted up some amazing characters for his army. Do you anticipate painting up a Gaz in your near future?
Not that I'm aware of. No. I certainly won't be painting it for myself, but yeah, if I get any commissions, then you never know the future, I suppose. Yeah. He does seem to have a lot of detail, doesn't he? I think it'd be fun to paint.
I think he'd be incredible to paint. I think that's one of the things making me want to break my Meganos out right now, just because the model for Gaz looks so cool.
What I loved about the commission that I did is that a lot of the models had quite a bit of skin exposed, and I love painting orc skin. I think it's a lot of fun, and when it's done, it just looks really nice as well. And I find green's quite easy to paint as well. It's quite an easy colour, to do the blends and stuff. I think Thraka doesn't seem to have too much skin on him. It's a lot of armor, isn't it?
Yep. In the fluff, the battle with Ragnar cut off his head, and he had to have it, surgically put back into place, and then kind of all the support armor and stuff like that put onto his new body. And so once you get to see the model up close, there's a seam line of where his head was cut off, and so that's why he's all very little skin and mostly armor, because that's a brand new head on that body. Well, I mean, his head on a brand new body. I mean,
yeah. And whilst I'm really into science fiction, I love science fiction. I don't know. That just doesn't sit that well with me. That he's had his head chopped off, put back on, and he's fine. How does that work? Anyone explain that to me?
it's true. I mean, orcs are weird. If they believe in something, it happens. So with orcs, you can kind of explain most things through magic. How did this happen? Magic. Oh, wow. Ragnar's only 120 points. So, I mean, that's
Really?
not much more expensive than a regular captain. Pretty good. Gaz is going to be 285. Pretty beefy. Let's see, got some chat here. So after the Psychic Awakening is over, do you guys expect anything until Corona is over? That's a good point. We know that most of their projects are in the pipeline months ahead. I think they said years ahead. So, there's they have content still on the way. But I guess the question really comes down to how long this whole Corona thing lasts. What do you think, Freak?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little distracted because they just had a power outage at the hospital I work at, and so they're trying to blow up my phone. I'm not on call, so I'm just a little irritated with that. But anyway, so I don't know. I think the whole this may stall things a bit. I think. I mean, it's stalled everything worldwide. Internationally. It's going to stall manufacturing. It's going to stall shipping. It's going to stall think tanks. It's going to. I'm not sure if they're really going to put anything out. I think once this thing blows over, I think they're going to go rush right to it, and they're going to make a big, hey, welcome back. Here's what we're going to throw at you guys. So they're going to be wanting to really sell a lot of product really fast, very quickly, and they're going to drop pricing. I really think that's going to happen. That's just marketing, 101. So, which will be beneficial to us, as consumers. We'll be able to, take advantage of that. As far as maybe a potential Primark, I would love to see that. I don't know if that's going to be the case, at least this year. I think we've gotten everybody we're going to get. So, but like I said,
I've stopped hoping at this point.
Yeah.
Nick, any thoughts on the matter?
Yeah, I think that we'll definitely see a slow up at some point. It will definitely have an impact down the line. As you say, I'm sure they're well in advance
Hmm.
with what they're doing, but it's gonna come to a halt at some point. Maybe give us a bit of breathing space to catch up on everything.
Yes.
But yeah, it's going to be
Let's see. Orcs and wolves are often thrown together, so we consider you lads our brothers in GW, men of consideration, long-suffering beasts. I agree, my man. I agree. Here comes the technical issues. Are we having technical issues?
It's off and on, guys, and if you do see them, we have to apologize. A lot of it is out of our control. You got to understand there are more people home today than there's ever been, and so we're it's a combination, and we do know I do know for a fact that a lot of network carriers are throttling. Okay, it's what you call throttling when they're trying to minimize the amount of bandwidth usage. So they're bringing everything down so it doesn't take the network down all at once. So because everybody and their mamas are on the network.
Oh yeah, little known fact, and this is just about internet usage, but Pornhub actually released a statement saying they've seen daily usage shatter records every day this week. So it's kind of funny because more people are home and more people are watching the prawns. That just shows how much internet usage is up right now, amongst other things, or at least a little bit. Let's see. Now after this, things will go quiet a few more weeks, and I'd say they've stuff stacked up, but limited staff to achieve it. Clay Dog hopes Harlequins get some love soon. We had Ross Middleton join. Good to see you, my man. Good to see you. Looking forward to Ragnar. I get to see you guys live along with Nick. Hope you're all well. So we talked a little bit before the show, and thankfully what's going on with the three of us and our family, so far we're blessed. So thank you for checking in on us.
Indeed, thank you.
My brother Lars says, I want to use gas, but will have to be a specific list as opposed to a unit I would use all the time. That makes sense. That makes sense. Just like when you got the new Seraptic, right, Nick? You built your list kind of around that. You get a big, new, beefy unit that eats up a lot of points. You want to kind of support it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't just throw them into any list. You've got to build the list around it. Yeah, definitely.
I think that's the mistake some of us get into is we just want to throw in whatever new thing we're excited about into our existing list. We don't try and mesh it.
I mean, some units, they'll fit into any list. There's like almost auto includes, I suppose you could say. But other units, they tend to only really work that, well if they're in the right list, really. I think Thrak is going to be one of those units. You've got to build around him to get the most out of him.
I agree. CM Wargame says, I highly recommend Nick for commission work, and he would know because he's gotten some beautiful work from you.
Thank you, Richard.
We have Modeling for Non-Tillage here in the chat. Good to see you, my brother. Let's see. Whatever pros believe in happens. I guess that's for the orcs. Oh, that's also, you mentioned earlier about him getting his head cut off and still living. The big thing to remember is that orcs are technically a fungus, not an animal. So, I mean, they can do weird stuff like get their heads cut off and reattached.
Okay.
They just staple limbs back on and it works if they believe it. Boom, magic. Let's see. And they don't die right away. They can have all sorts of bits chopped off and still survive. Half of Gazgul's brain being a solid piece of metal because he got shot in the head with a bolt gun. So if they believe Gaz is alive after getting his head off, then he'll live. Yeah, and I think that also works if he believes he's still alive. I hope my Saga of the Beast stuff I ordered gets to Spain. I hope so too, my man. based on their lore and their psychic abilities, seems like a lot could happen. Absolutely. Like I said, you can just explain it away as orc magic, basically. Freak is right. There will be a demand slump. I noticed that the UK online stores confirmed my order list really fast. Yeah, Brother Meeks, we were talking earlier, and he mentioned the last couple of days when he went and stopped by the GW stuff to pick up his stuff, it was a ghost town in there. So demand seems to be slowing down on the storefront, but you never know. Online orders could still be up. Nick makes a good point about breathing space, which is why we all need to use, which is what we all need with this onslaught of releases. I know, it's just like, I want this box, I want this. There's so much good stuff coming out. We kind of need a breather from all of it. And also, rule saturation. We keep getting more and more rules that we got to learn and adapt. And that's why we need test games, like we talked about with Freak's new list earlier. We need those test games to get the new rules in. And by the time we test one list, a new set of rules for something comes out, and it's hard to keep up. Brother Roxas says, "Yo, rip and tear." Welcome, Brother Roxas.
Hey, Roxas.
Doom.
Oh, man.
Just like most of my Chilling Network brothers, I see a lot of them playing the new Doom already. Most of them had it pre-ordered. They're awesome. We have Nerdopolis Prime, who says, "Look at these 3 beautiful mugs." These are the only 3 mugs which can interrupt my Doctor Who Corona playlist. Hey,
wow.
If we bump Doctor Who, that is a
wow. That's an honor there
for us.
Yeah. Holy cow.
The economy has gone down the drain. Yeah. Or is it people's cash? Brother Meeks. Just mentioning Brother Meeks' name, we got a quiz today saying, Meeks, clap them cheeks. And he also says Doom Eternal is great. We are finally caught up on the chat, guys.
A lot of chat.
A lot of chat. You want to take a look at the... you want to take a look at the rules, my man?
Let's see where we are.
You all right?
And while you do that...
Come on.
So, question for both Nick and Freak.
Hey, there's a princess.
It's the Necron girl.
No.
Oh.
No? Where,
Can we get a Necron cheer?
Oh.
Nope.
All right, yeah, you need to write that out.
She noped out like a
Do you know where the paper is? In the cupboard by the shoes.
Okay.
It's Mother's Day tomorrow, so she's wrapping up the present.
Awesome. Okay.
Very nice.
So, which rules are we
Both
looking
of
at?
you have. I mean, you know me. I'd start with the wolves, but
figured much.
you got
All right.
we got people for both of you in this chat. So both of you have basically both of you have Space Wolf armies that are not currently in use. So if either of you were to have a Ragnar placed in your hand, would either of you paint them up, possibly put them into use?
Absolutely. In a heartbeat.
I would, but it would take me probably a while to get to him, and I'd have to chop him around a bit to put some chaos bits on him to fit my 13th company.
Golly, Nick!
Of course.
Come on!
Oh, it's 13th company.
No, Freak, you don't understand.
I know. It's just
the best.
I know. It's just
say it right here in this chat. The best Space Wolf army on the internet.
All right. Are you done sucking up?
Best.
Are you finished?
Space Wolf.
Are you?
Actually, I did
I'm serious.
I did my original Ragnar Blackmane model, which was metal. I couldn't get a chaos piece of armor onto him, so I took his bottom leg section, and I green stuffed a rim around that leg section to make it into a chaos leg,
nice.
And then painted it in the chaos colors. Yeah, it came out quite well. I was quite chuffed with that. I think it's pretty much my favorite.
I'm doing a live stream.
first piece of green stuff that I
What's up?
actually did.
That's very cool.
Sure.
You definitely have some really awesome sculpting ability. I thought about trying on my brother's Salamander's Dreadnought, your tutorial that you used to make dragon scales on a Dreadnought shoulder out of green stuff. I chickened out because I didn't think I had, the skill set to do it, but I might attempt it later. If it were for me, I probably would have tried it. But on somebody else's model, I was like,
Thing is, with green stuff,
wasn't
it's so easy.
confident.
If it doesn't go very well, you can just take it off. Quite easy just to take off.
I definitely love your 13th company conversion. So I would love to see the new Ragnar with all your chopped and changed and chaos colors added, and you having a 13th company Ragnar that's been traveling around the warp with the 13th company and hunting down chaos.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
Let's see. Got some shout outs to Necron Girl. Wizard Wargaming says Ragnar will also make a great base with an overlord standing on his face. Hey. We don't need that kind of language here. Good to see you, Wizard Wargaming. All right. Freakalicious, you want to take it away with the rules here?
Yeah. Let's see. These people are testing me. All right. So let's go down here. All right. First of all, we're going to look at Ragnar Blackmane's main rules, right? So we've got movement is 6 inches. He's pushing a weapon skill of 2 up and ballistics of 2+ as well. Strength 4, toughness 4. I feel like this could have been a little better. This is just me. Maybe, get his strength up a little bit. But I get it. I mean, he's got other stuff to actually help buff these up. So I'm not too concerned about it. But still, strength 4, toughness 4, your typical Space Marine bit. Wounds 6, pretty much has the same as, what's his name? The guy that I just forgot I was going to say. So him too. Arm, yeah.
One thing I find interesting
Lysander,
is that
Lysander 6 too. So
the only thing I find interesting is that when his leaked, and of course leaks are just that,
right.
They could be correct, they could be wrong. Just some hearsay is really what some leaks are.
Right.
So the leaks we heard for the stat line had him at strength 5, which would have put his frost sword up to the strength of an autocannon. But we see here it's actually strength 4, which is he's still going to be a beast, but
right.
It's going to be a little less effective. It's going to be great for any troops or infantry or bikes or anything like that. But before looking at it, when it could have been strength 5, could have made it viable to chainsaw through a rhino, right?
Right.
Whereas now it's going to be on 5.
Well, and that's what everyone was saying is that his stats are basically a vehicle killer, or a night killer. That's kind of comparable to Torgaradon. You know what I mean? To have that same amount of power, but instead they're putting all the power onto the weapon and the number of attacks. So
yeah, it's about numbers now. And score 6 is still nothing to sneeze at.
Sure.
However, strength 6 as opposed to strength 7 is that difference between wounding a vehicle on 4s or 5s.
Right. And of course, attacks level 7, leadership 9, saves 3 up, which is good. And yes, that's right. 7 attacks, but there's more. Ragnar's berserk rampages are legendary, as his slaughter of the orc war boss Borzak Khan and his entire Knobs bodyguard can attest. So much so, in fact, that the standard shock assault ability doesn't quite cut it when it comes to the Allslayer. Of course, he's got Berserker Rage when the model is affected by the shock assault ability at 3 to the attacks characteristics of this model instead of 1. So instead of 7, 9, so 10. The potential of 10 attacks at damage 2. freaking crazy, dude. Courtesy of his legendary blade, Frostfang, it's fair to say that Ragnar won't have any problem being bogged down in combat. So I like that. I like the fact that they're putting it more on the weapon. So I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. 6.5 does any other, right? So he did.
Well, I mean, still, I was including the weapon earlier when I talked about getting up to strength 6 instead of 7.
Right.
So I mean, it's still.
All right.
It's still going to be useful, though. He is fighting orc, so it is more about killing number of troops. So,
right.
You know, I'm good with it.
And he's only, 120 points as well, isn't he?
Exactly.
Okay. Let's see. Then Battle Lust. Of course, when a friendly Space Wolves unit within 6 inches of this model and not within 3 inches of an enemy unit consolidates, it can move up to 6 inches instead of 3. So he gets a little extra space in there for. Now, is this for charging?
That's going to be huge, I think. 6 inches is a lot. Because if you think about it, I mean, 6 inches when you consolidate, that could mean consolidating straight out of combat,
right into
and barreling into a tank that's nearby, you know, or somebody's devastator, and just keep them from shooting for the next round, you know?
Right.
Or tie something up in combat. I like that a lot.
Okay, so and here I think is why they went with the shooty army. And again, I get their logic, but it's, as you know, as a somewhat mini Space Wolf about to be player, they're trying to really boost them in combat doctrine. So so here it is. The answer to the question on everyone's lips is yes. The Space Wolves do indeed gain the combat doctrines utilized by other chapters. This method of fighting is as instinctive to the way the Space Marines wage war as bolter discipline and shock assault, regardless of the chapter from which they hail. But I mean, again, to my knowledge, the Space Wolves are more in your face and not so much, you know, pew pew. With that being said, the Space Wolves certainly have their favorite, and no prizes for guessing that it's the assault doctrine that they specialize in. Yeah. So why are we pushing combat doctrines? Whatever. I digress. Okay, so...
Well, I mean, there is an assault doctrine for combat doctrines. I said there is an assault doctrine for combat doctrines, you know, for melee. It's a starting third turn if you choose to take it that early.
Right.
And I think it's going to be great. That means
the assault doctrine, absolutely.
Third turn, we're going to get extra AP.
No, I get it, but they're more focusing on, you know, bolter discipline and, you know, really utilizing, you know, more like bolter drill kind of thing. You know, it's just... Anyway, so Savage Fury, right? So whilst the assault doctrine is active, if an unmodified hit roll of 6 is made for an attack made with a melee weapon by a unit with this ability, the attack scores 1 additional hit on the target. So that's actually pretty good. You know, considering
it's like a delayed version of your bolter drill, right?
Bolter drill, yep. That's exactly what that is.
All right.
Not bad. And now you got your really good stratagems. Stratagems are coming through. The knowledge of the foe. Let's see. Use the stratagem in the fight phase with an enemy character is destroyed by an attack made by a Space Wolves model in your army. You receive 1 CP, so you can start generating CPs. And it costs nothing, which is really cool. You know, invoke that particular stratagem and start collecting.
I feel like, and of course, this is not the way a lot of people play Space Wolves competitively or on battle reports or whatnot, but I personally feel like Space Wolves are a lot about their heroes and their sagas, right?
Right.
Man, I just messed up that D-pad. And with that, you know, I usually like to play with more elites and fast attack choices than troop choices. So, of course, while I enjoy the feel and the theme of that, like, I'm not usually loaded up on command points. I often struggle with command points. So I love the feel of this. because I can continue focusing on those heroes of the chapter, and those fast attack, Thunderwolf Cavalry or Fenrisian Wolves and stuff like that,
Right.
and still get some command points. It's pretty cool.
Another one is going to be the Touch of the Wild. Tuche of the Wily. Use stratagem in the fight phase. Select one Space Wolves character model in your army. Until the end of that phase, when resolving an attack made by that model, an unmodified hit roll of 4 up or 4 plus scores 1 additional hit.
I'm loving that. I can't wait to put that on my Wolf Lord and just go nuts.
Go nuts. Go nads. What? Then you got Litanies of Battle. These are all the litanies. Litanies, and this one is A Tale of the Wolf King and the Lords of the Deep. Litanies inspiring. Select one friendly Space Wolves unit within 6 inches of the model. When resolving an attack made with a melee weapon by a model in that unit against a monster or vehicle unit, add 1 to the damage characteristics of that weapon for that attack. Swiss has been renowned for their oral traditions. And then Worm Splitter. Worm Splitter. Okay, so this, let me see, what is the Worm Splitter here? Worm Splitter, I'm just reading this out just to get on this. For region tradition dictates that warriors hunt the great sea dragons that inhabit the world's oceans. Okay, that's right. The warriors of, right, this is all lore. Okay, so apparently weapon, Worm Splitter, is +1 strength, -2 AP, 2 damage. Resolving attack made with this weapon against a monster or vehicle, the weapon has a damage characteristic of 4 for that attack.
That is really neat. Now, the only thing is that's such a neat relic. But man, I don't know if I would ever choose that relic over the Armor of Russ or the Wolfenstone that gives you straight up extra attacks.
Right.
So it's really good.
But you're maxed out at 4 though.
Point.
Yeah. I mean, because you have a better chance of maximizing the number of hits rather than you limit it to 4. Yeah.
What do you mean? To max out what it for?
Okay.
Relics?
Well, no. Like this right here, right? The weapon has a damage characteristic of 4 for that attack if you're attacking a monster or vehicle. Versus what you just said for the other relics, for the armor. Hello?
Yep. I'm listening. So, yeah, but with extra attacks, especially if you, let's say you mix them up, you put that relic, you can do 4 damage a hit, and then you get the extra hits on 4s and whatnot. You could be getting some killer vehicle damage and stuff like that out of that. Now, of course, it's still smartest, I think, to take the Wolfenstone for the extra attacks. Get the Thunderhammer for that, D6 damage.
How many more attacks did you get with the Wolfenstone?
Putting your extra attack. One extra attack.
Okay.
But within 3 inches per dude. Right? So if I have the Wolfenstone and I'm using the Wolfenstone to buff, say, a pack of Thunderwolf Cavalry that are swinging all Power Fists and Thunderhammers,
right, or
Terminators that are doing the same thing, that's going to be way more killing power, I think. I got to agree with modeling for advantage. Wolfenstone is the best relic, 100%. I feel like that's true, but not that I'm dissing this relic. Like I said, I think it's going to be cool, and I think it would be fun to play within a list. I just don't know if I would ever pick that. I mean, you've seen how I've shut down combat before with the Armor of Russ.
Oh, no.
It's a really good relic.
Yeah. And I don't know what context you would use this in particular, so. Okay, Talisman of Storms, Rune Priest only. So after resolving the first psychic power for the bearer in your psychic phase, roll 1d6 for each enemy unit within 12 inches of the bearer. On a 4+, that enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound. That's not bad.
Not bad. Just spreading some extra wounds around.
Yeah, that's not too
bad. It seems a little situational again. Like, it seems neat to try out. especially if I bring my three jump pack cyclists. It might be fun to try. But again, I don't foresee it being better than the existing relics.
Right.
So, Nick, looking at all these previewed rules and abilities and stuff like that, what do you think?
I think GW.
As someone who might be playing.
Yeah, I think GW, as always, just seem to have trouble doing rules for special characters. It must be difficult, when you're trying to bring sort of the fluff of a character as such to the rules, make them slightly different to what's already available, and come up with something which is workable. A lot of the rules are always situational, aren't they? And I think these Space Wolves ones just show exactly that as well.
I agree. A lot of them are very situational, but I'm eager to try them out and give them some. I definitely think it's going to give us a kind of power boost, but they definitely are. I think between the litanies, the doctrines, I think they're bringing us more in line with the classic Space Marine, and they definitely seem to be, giving some of that power boost in the, buy some of our new stuff and you'll get some power reward for it. That's just the way, right? Rule so models.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I'm really excited. The book, I think I'm excited about way more than the box set. All right. Who wants to see some orc stuff?
Wow.
Wow. I'm going to check in on our chat while we do that. Let's see. Ragnar's an auto-include for modeling for advantage. I shall assimilate his genetic structure for my hive. Oh, we got a Tyranids player. The Model 8 has the 8 design has a minor print failure. I have no idea. Khan versus Black Mane. Who wins? Who's next? Epic rap battles of history. I would like to see that rap battle, good sir. Top knots get entangled, get hairdressers called in, match abandoned. The doctrines may help as will the litanies. Absolutely. I think there's definitely a lot of power in doctrines. I mean, anytime you can get extra AP, that's good. And what I really like about that is that there's a lot of, I don't, as I've discussed many times on the channel, I don't believe in AP 0 weapons. I've had too many cases where I've, like Freak who, let's be honest, Freak doesn't have the best dice luck normally. But I have given him over 30 an average, and this is several games of using Blood Claws. Hey, I just dealt 30-something wounds to you with my Blood Claws. Okay, what's the AP on Blood Claws? 0, because they're chain swords. I take 1 wound. Like, what? It's don't work for me.
Yeah.
However, with let's say attack doctrine, right, or the assault doctrine, all of a sudden now with that AP -1, 3-up save is on 4-up, and all of a sudden it's a 50-50 chance to make those dice. I feel like that's going to be massive. Of course, getting to turn 3, still having a lot of melee focused stuff still alive by turn 3 is going to be the tricky part. Because as we've discussed many times, a lot of the big games nowadays have been mostly decided by turn 2, I feel like. It may not be a clear winner at the end, but you can definitely see what direction the battle is going in. So having all your melee-focused stuff still left alive by turn 3, I feel like going to be dicey. What are your thoughts, Nick? You're a pretty experienced player.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's unless you've got the ability to move really fast and sort of increase your chances of getting into assault with a re-roll or an extra dice roll, then yeah, it's weathering those first rounds of shooting is always tough with an assault army, isn't it?
Yep. And even with my fast army, the White Scars, I very seldom have a moment where I'm like, Oh, sweet! It's assault doctrine. Now I'm going to be so, I can be so melee focused right now, because usually all the melee stuff is killed by turn 3. I'm like, all right, that's turn 3. I get to go into the assault doctrine with my land speeder, my
And typically, that's what you blow stuff up with,
Inceptors?
by the way. Yeah, so shut up.
I suppose maybe there's just a bit
my
more value
Zyphon.
now
We go in.
in holding certain units back to maybe try and get them in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I've definitely been thinking about that too. Like, waiting for turn 3 to show up and then have some assault marines drop out of orbit or out of a rhino or something like that.
Mm.
Having them just not show up until turn 3, so that way they're alive to take advantage of the doctrine. I think might be helpful.
The only issue, as always,
Wolfen and a storm wolf are on the hunt.
Yeah, the only issue, obviously, if you hold them in reserve for too long, then the rest of your army could be dead by the time they get there.
Right. Yep.
That's very true. I've always said the problem with that is that the entire time they're on the table is them not making their points back, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of stings when you're losing the game and you're like, why did I keep 300 points off the table, for most of this game? So I can definitely feel that. All right, Freakalicioso, you want to bring us to some work rules?
All right.
Are you still sitting up? My bad. I can be smarty.
No, it's just taking forever for it to catch up.
Okay. While that catches up, Spec says, "Oh, I see abandoned." Modeling for Advantage says, "Wolfenstone, 100% the best." Spec says, "Jetso was fantastic to experience streaming this time of day. I'll catch you all soon." Man, I'm sure you're gone by now, but man, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.
How'd you turn the oven on?
Orcs have some lovely
Press the
goodies.
red button.
Take a look at that.
Hold on. Let me just silence myself.
Huh?
I'm just going to silence myself for a minute.
Okay. Modeling for Advantage says, so true about AP0. I've tried so hard to use Reavers. I totally understand that feeling. Who took my dice? We have Brother Steve. Says, sup, lads? Been watching on and off as possible. Great stream as usual. Thank you, my brother. And then CM Wargame says, Orcs have some of those new tricks in this book. We can take a look at those.
Cool. All right, so we're ready to roll. Are you ready?
Cool.
Okay, so this monster has you have the Prophet of Gork and Mork. Model has a 4+ invulnerable save. In addition, this model can only lose a maximum of 4 wounds in each phase. Yeah, that'd be fun to go against.
Yeah.
That no one ever.
I suppose the only advantage of that is if you target Thraka first, and once he's lost his 4 wounds, well, then you can focus on other stuff.
Sure.
I suppose at least you got that.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
Might
but you have to have something to be able to attack the character, though. I mean,
he's 12 wounds, isn't he?
Well, actually, I was just about to mention it. So because he has more than 10 wounds,
yeah.
actually,
So you can
targetable.
target him.
I think that
yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's a freaking monster. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's quite a clever, actually, compromise, isn't it? I quite like it because they could have made him under 10 wounds, so then you can't target him.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he's only 12 wounds means that he can be targeted, but then they've limited how much damage he can take. But also, I believe as he takes damage, he gets more powerful as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite a clever way that they've done it. It's quite interesting way.
Yeah. I think you're going to get more orc players now. Good job, GW. Good job. Attaboy. All right, and we've got Mork's Roar and Cork's Claw. So Mork's Roar is a 36-inch range, salt 12. Oh my god, 12, 12. Strength 5, -1 AP, and 1 damage. So that gun, that thing, that Mork's Roar, 36
It's not
inches.
that bad though, because I think he still hits ballistically on 5s.
Let's see. I'll have to look and see what his. I don't see
I
his
think his
actual
stat line is
specs.
here. Somebody confirm for me. I think he still shoots on 5s.
I'd be curious.
So
to
the
know
assault
that,
12 isn't that bad.
No, it's not.
I
it's
don't
not.
think, unless somebody's rolling really well.
Yeah.
You know, Lars is going to be the guy who goes, okay, hitting on 5s.
Yep. You're dead. You're dead, and you're dead.
hits.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yep. The claw is actually pretty impressive. It's a Gork's Claw. It's strength ×2 and AP -4, damage 4. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, on a big beefy guy like that, I think the claws should be like a
Yeah.
damage beast.
Yeah. That's. And again, this is more of a melee, right? I mean, this is just right in your face. Okay. Let's see what else. All right, so we've got the Great Wog. Friendly orc infantry units within 6 inches of this model can be chosen to charge with even if they advanced this turn. In addition, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of models and friendly orc infantry units whilst their unit is within 6 inches of this model. If their unit made a charge move this turn.
That's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's pretty oof. That's kind of like Orc Shock Assault. Within 6 inches.
And of course, we've got some psychic love that they're going to throw in there. Of course, it's called Blood Axes, Clever Talk. So Clever Talk has a warp charge value of 6. If manifested, select 1 enemy unit visible to the psyker. Until the start of your next psychic phase, that unit cannot fire Overwatch at Blood Axe units from your army and cannot be chosen to fight until all eligible Blood Axe units from your army have done so. That is messed up. Just completely lock everyone down.
And on close combat monsters like orcs, not being able to Overwatch is scary.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Okay, yes. So you don't get to move. What? Wait, what? Nope, that's right. You don't shoot. Horde's coming at you. Yeah, you're screwed. That is scary.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
All right. Power
Now the
Maniacs.
claw will be hitting on 2, re-rolling 1, so that won't miss much.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't get the advance in charge for himself.
Pyromaniac's Arsonist. You can re-roll any and all of the dice when determining the number of shots made for Burnus, Scorchas, Burna Bottles, Burna Exhausts, Kilojets, and Scorcha Missiles equipped on models in a unit with the subculture. When resolving an attack made with the melee profile of a Burna equipped on a model with this subculture, you can re-roll the wound roll. When resolving the Burna Bomb's ability for a unit with this subculture, add 1 to each roll.
Pretty nasty. I've seen some people talk about full mass squads of Burna Boys and just re-rolling all their hits. It'd be nice.
Okay, and then you have the Orchematic Pistons. That's cool. Kilocons, Death Dreads, Morkanaut, and Gorkanauts units only. You add 3 inches to the unit's move characteristics. You can re-roll advance rolls made for the unit. Wow. So give a little vehicle love there.
Oh yeah. And I've always wanted to see the orc machinery, dreadnought type things get some love. So
So here's the thing
They
I
look
have.
like cool models, but because they've
I have a
they've
question.
not had good rules, nobody has ever used.
Right. I have a question about orc
Go ahead.
vehicles because something that I've noticed that has not been consistent, at least in my mind, that the majority of orc vehicles are on stands, or are on stands, but most Space Marines aren't. Does that make sense?
Oh, on bases?
Yeah, bases. Yes.
I guess because they're smaller, like single vehicles. More akin to a larger bike. Well, no, because then attack bikes aren't on bases either.
Right. And that's
a good question.
That's what I was just curious about that, if anybody knew that. So, because you notice that you see this a lot, like this mural here. Here you got these attack vehicles. They look pretty awesome, and they actually look pretty cool with their bases. But I don't know. I don't know why that's like that. Anyway.
Oh, Zane says attack bikes do come with bases.
They do? When did they change that? Because the last one that I did not.
My 3 didn't come with them either. I had to order them from eBay. Ordered me some 80 mils from eBay.
There you go. All right. That is weird. I guess they changed that because I had ordered one and did not come with a base. I even asked before I built it for my client because it was going to be a commission piece. That was for James. Remember? Yeah. And I was like, okay,
Yep,
what
I
this
remember.
thing? I was getting mad. This doesn't come with a base. Where's the freaking base? He goes, it doesn't come with a base. What do you mean it doesn't come with a base? So so no base. Now it's all about the base. About the base. Sorry, that was bad. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do the clever spanner. Mine did as well.
Maybe we got older sets, man.
I guess I did get the first ones that come out though. All right, use the stratagem. These are all stratagems now for 1 CP point. You can use it before the battle. Select one Ludas or Burnaboys unit from your army that contains 9 or less models for 1 CP, or one Ludas or Burnaboys unit from your army that contains 10 or more models for 2 CPs. Whilst the unit contains 1 or more spanners, you can roll 1 additional dice and discard 1 when determining the number of shots or burners or def guns equipped on models in that unit. Each unit can only be selected for this stratagem once per battle.
That's pretty good. I see why it's only once per battle.
Okay, and here's the flyers. It's called the Fly-In Idbutt. Use the stratagem at the end of your movement phase. Select 1 orc unit from your army that has the flyer Battlefield Roll. That model is reduced to 0 wounds, holy crap, and automatically crashes and burns. Do not roll. That's pretty jacked up. 1 CP.
I mean, if you had a flyer on its last legs, some kamikaze damage might not be bad.
Yeah, it's like pretty jacked up. There you go.
I've done that a couple times. AdMech, where you've taken Lysander and charged one of my dune crawlers and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go ahead and CP to explode automatically.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, it's a nice fun rule, isn't it?
All right. So, any standouts for you on these rules that we just took a look at for the orcs, Nick?
I think the WAR one, whatever it's called, the advance and charge. I know it's obviously not on Thraka himself, but yeah, you could imagine Thraka with a couple of units of boys or knobs or something coming at you, being able to advance and charge. That does sound quite nasty.
Oh, yeah, that has a feel of like a mob boss going, get them, boys.
Yeah. And then obviously the Overwatch one as well.
Oh, yeah, that one's really good.
Yeah.
Better against some than others because, like most armies only overwatching on 6s. It's usually not a big deal. You'll take a couple wounds out of it. Except for like the last time that I tried charging one of Freak's las cannons, and my last cavalry guy, or my last biker guy took a las cannon into the face and died on the charge. That wasn't fun. But for the most part, unless you're facing Iron Hands or Tau or Eldar, Overwatch isn't usually a big deal. But against the right army, man, it can definitely be a big boost. Well, my old bikes didn't have bases, so I made bases for them, but now they have changed the bases size again. Oof.
Wow.
Never-ending struggle.
Yeah.
It's right up there with the rule that lets you keep bringing back an Imperial Knight with D3 wounds left. Ugh. For some reason, I don't remember that one.
I just read Rob's message up there. I'm sorry to hear that, Rob, that you lost out of
Oof.
that.
$100. I'm sorry, my man.
He put on there 500. 500 he lost. Oh, that's horrible. No, my stomach feels sick for you, bro. I can't even imagine somebody ripping me off that much. I'd lose my damn mind. Most work wheels are equivalent to land speeders or attack bikes. Yada yada. I agree. It's bad karma for them. It's going to come back around on them.
It's bad karma for them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, after hearing such terrible, terrible news.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I could use a little motivation. Oh, before we do that.
Yeah.
Nick, I forgot to ask you how long we have you hostage for tonight.
Well, hopefully into the end of the show. How long are you planning to go for? What time is it over there?
We've only done one of these shows so far, and we just kind of adjusted to the availability of our guest. So
okay, we've got some models to look at, haven't we? In a minute as well.
Yep. If you want to give me a time frame of when I should start keeping an eye out for the clock.
Okay, probably about another 45 minutes.
Sounds good.
Is that okay for you guys?
That'll work.
My girlfriend is here at the moment. You may have heard the noise in the background.
It's good to hear.
Hello.
Good to hear chatter in the background. All right. So yeah, Mythos, you were talking. You were saying some things.
Something about motivation.
Yep. Definitely use some motivation.
All right. I can go for some motivation here. Especially with work trying to lure me in and me having to tell them to nod off. So, here going. That's right. I said it. Chaplain Emo.
When you're going into battle and you don't know how to feel, just count on Chaplain Emo and his joy will make you squeal. So when the world is you down, you want to scream out, just listen to the words of Chaplain Emo.
All right, Mythos, this is the part.
So, great chaplain, voice of the emperor. We're all in stressful situations. Some of us are in lockdown in our homes. Some of them are dealing with crises at work. It's sweeping the world. And of course, there are also personal challenges like, Rob, unfortunately, being ripped off. It's bad juju all around. We have here an amazing guest with us, IDIC BEER, today, and we need to re-find our motivation. Can you bring us the motivation?
Indeed.
Men, I hear that there's an IDIC BEER on the show. I hope it's not Corona.
Wow. Wow, that.
Oh, Chaplain. Too soon. Too soon.
Wow. Was that even considered a dad joke? You know,
That was,
a bad dad
that was,
joke. That just.
it was a signal for time for Art of the Week. That's what.
I guess so. Yep, good idea. Let's do this. Let's a light.
Not the first time the Chaplain's been booed on our show.
Yep. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's terrible dad jokes. Yep, agreed, Archer. I totally agree. That was probably one of the worst.
Lies. The voice of the Emperor is a text-to-speech device.
Okay. Oh, come on. Scroll up. Don't be stupid.
Technology.
Right. Okay. There we go. And Art of the Week. It's one of my favorite parts of this entire show.
What am I to?
This is by Samsonosmas. But Samsonosmas.
So this is another artist that I completely fanboy over. If any of you watch Tabletop Minions, this is the Instagram account of the amazing and legendary epic Sam Lenz.
Oh, okay.
Phenomenal painter.
I didn't realize that was.
And, oh my God. I was already intimidated to paint this model because of the amazing work done by Bill Morlock over at Morlock Warzone Morlock 40K.
Mm-hmm.
And now after Sam Lenz, you know, the painting senpai, has painted one of these up. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can actually paint mine now. Maybe doing mine as a 40K white scar will make it different enough where I can not be so intimidated. But this looks just absolutely incredible.
It's intimidating.
Does look amazing. Are the colours like the original colours of the model? I'm not familiar with the model too much.
I want to say the box art is a blue color like this. I want to say it's a lot more usually a lot brighter, like a Thousand Sun kind of blue, if I remember the box art correctly. We have a painting senpai and Oni-chan. Yeah, the box art is a lot brighter. That's why I was thinking like a brighter, like Thousand Suns kind of blue.
Oh,
look at the
gorgeous.
non-metallic metal work on the bronze armor.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
I like the glow effect as well, like on his leg at the bottom there.
I agree.
Yeah, that's very good.
Oh.
What we got here?
It's still loading.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's coming up here in just a second. It's one from Darcy Bono Creations. I am just blown away. I can't wait till you see it. Yeah, it's the lag, the amount of lag, follow the throttling down.
I think it might be on your end because I can see I've been able to see the picture for a few minutes.
Have you? Maybe I'm behind. Hold on. Let me just restart it here. Okay, there it is. Yep, you're right.
Sylvaneth Archer. That is gorgeous.
It is. Man, gosh.
First of all, I've always loved the white trees with autumn leaves kind of look.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it reminds me of some like Native American art I've seen before. And this is just kind of exactly what that makes me think of.
The arrow, I mean, it's a flaming arrow. It just looks so amazing. It's kind of an oxymoron here. I mean, you would not expect a tree to be holding a fiery weapon, but still, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love the effect. And the transition, the color transitions of the way they've done the autumn.
Mm-hmm.
The transitions are just gorgeous.
You're gorgeous.
Yeah, and the contrast with the white tree as well just looks really good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay. This is from Crystal Labyrinth. So I've been playing, this is kind of a little segue. I've been actually playing a lot of, help me, Methus.
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy, thank you. And I'm in the area where there's a lot of dragons, and I'm just taken aback of how gorgeous. I was telling Archer, because Archer was playing, and I was just so in awe at how beautiful the artwork they did on the dragons in that game. And I'm looking at this. This is exactly what it reminds me of. This gorgeous, lifelike, beautiful detail on these dragons, and this is actually absolutely stunning.
Yeah, I saw this and couldn't pass it up. I was like, oh, just because you got to have a gorgeous dragon sometimes.
Absolutely. I mean, I mean, intricately done, each scale, you know?
It's a great mini as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't even know what this miniature is from.
It's from Awesomeness. That's where it's from. And
Love the scales down the front of the neck.
yep.
Way each one of them has the color shift, the color blend there.
But
It
you
just looks
notice
amazing.
it's not one solid color, right? You can see the color distinctions, right? And you know, there's some highlighting. So it gives you more of a dynamic look from the webbing on the wings. That's incredible. Yep. Yeah, that's actually moving a little faster, isn't it, Methus? Okay, this is just more awesomeness. Ooh, here's a great shot here. Just,
Also kind of gives me like some real Skyrim kind of vibes.
uh-huh. Sure does. And final one. I think this just looks really cool. This wraps it up really well.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. All right. And Goldfish of Justice. Sorry. Oh, this is really cool. I will never hear Goldfish of
Those who
Justice.
love the Nurgle and the Death Guard.
Yeah.
That is, I love the bright spots and the dark spots. It's just a really great highlight there on the.
This is some stuff that you did, Mythos. You could do this.
I'm working on it.
You could do this. This is right up your league now, Bubba. Looks really good. I like that. I really like that. I like to see stuff that, you know, I'm thinking, yeah, I could do that. You know? Or, you know, yeah, I think Mythos could do that. Yeah, he can hang that. Okay.
Not
This-
as well as the Goldfish of Justice,
Yeah,
but
not
I'm
this. This, no. Mm-mm. The only thing I can do here is burn my brushes, baby. Yep. They're on fire right here.
I meant me. You're starting to get on that level.
Not this, bro. Goldfish of Justice, the gauntlet is not down. Mm-mm. Nope. No, you can keep my gauntlet, bro. Mm-mm. See this?
Yeah,
This
this is another level. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
this is badassery at a total different level. This is wow.
That Cthulhu tattoo on the skin,
Yeah, that is just ridiculous.
and just the shading on highlighting on all the flesh too is just
Oh, here's another one from the chilling Pickle Jaw.
Yep. So Goldfish of Justice also featured on the Chilling Network.
Chilling Worker, yes, sir.
Pickle Jar, also another Chilling Network member.
Who was also called out by the Spud.
This one's still a work in progress, but I because we're talking about such orc love today, I wanted to show his brightly colored WoW style orcs. I love it.
Some more Pickle Jar love. Ooh, very
It
nice.
is always interesting to see how people paint like the orc skin, isn't it? So many different variations.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Everybody's got their own interpretation, yeah?
Hmm.
This salamanders guy.
This
Wonder
guy.
if I'll be painting up one of these one day in the future
I
for my
can't
brother.
wait. Yeah, I really want to see how you do this because this looks pretty good. I think you've got this.
Pickle jars absolutely smashed it with this one.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
See all this stuff. That is hand painted, isn't it?
Yeah. You'll notice every scale on that dragon scale cloak
it's
has a highlight on it.
Yeah, it does. Just
That is like some real love was paid attention to this model.
Oh, these kids.
Just phenomenal work by the pickle jar. By the way, the pickle jar has out all kinds of really, really great tutorials on his channel. So this is his Instagram, but he also has a YouTube channel, which was an inspiration for the way I painted the flame effects on one of my fire swords the other day. So he's got such great tutorials. I definitely recommend going over to the Pickle Jar's channel and checking him out, maybe dropping him a sub, maybe letting him know that your wolf brother and Brother Freak sent you over.
And this is why I need lighter fluid. Kids, bring pop lighter fluid.
This is absolutely incredible. Of course, friend of the show and one of my favorite Twitch streamers. Please check out his Twitch channel.
Amazing.
Wolf Wraith. Oh my God. This took me right back to Wonderland.
This is awesome. Have you seen the eyes as well? The eyes look amazing.
Right?
Yep.
It's so Alice of Wonderland. Love it. Right, between the looking glass. Gorgeous.
Later, Captain Morgan. Yeah, just the colors are so vibrant, so pronounced, well blended together. The eyes just so detailed. Everything about this is just amazing.
There's so many colors in this. This is like an explosion of color. Good night.
Brian said it. Wolf Wraith, you have skills, my man. You have skills.
Yeah, definitely.
Seriously. I would like to see him paint a Jabba the Hutt. Wouldn't it be cool? This is kind of the scaling kind of reminds me of the texture.
Yeah.
But this is just gorgeous, man.
Although that would be a challenge just to make those shades of brown look interesting,
Yeah, kind of separation. But see, he did it. Look at this. So look at the belly, under the shading underneath, and in the recesses, he did a nice little shade.
I definitely agree he could do it. I'm just saying, like the vibrant colors like these, obviously you're going to pop a little more than a mostly brown model.
Right. No, I hear you. Oh, okay. So is that the lighting, or is that actual? No, that's probably the lighting, isn't it? See how on the inside, right? Okay, the metallic, yeah, it looks like that was his work. There's different shades, but you can see the inner strip there. It just looks amazing. How about the Hut? If I eat too much pizza, that's Pizza the Hut, not Jabba the Hutt.
I could definitely turn into a Pizza the Hut right about now.
Oh man, me too. I'm getting there, bro. Okay. Oh, Mythos. Give it a little Imperial Fist love, huh?
Yep. Although this is a community submitted. This one wasn't me.
I like this. It's by Nightly Gamer.
Nightly Gamer, which some of you will remember as the Commodore, the Smash Captain for the Gamecraft Dragons chat.
And I like it.
It just looks so good. I love the 5 o'clock shadow. Yeah. We'll get some close-ups.
Yeah,
5 o'clock shadow and the scar on the sergeant.
We have seen some of his work. I mean, because we've actually talked about how the majority of the armor is kind of that pewter metallic with the accents of the yellow for the Imperial Fist.
Yep, Yeah, I think last time we looked at his intercessors, and now we're taking a look at his reavers.
Reavers, yeah.
Yep, he has such a great color scheme.
Yeah, I love that. I really do like that.
Which
It makes him look like
that really cool tone shade, that really cool metallic he's got there.
Yeah.
Is lead belcher and one of the gray contrast paints. Such a great effect.
Yeah, I would never thought that would happen.
Man, some of these models make me want to work harder to become a better painter. Very impressive.
Right.
That is the opposite of what we usually say. Like some of these artists, like Wolfwraith's amazing caterpillar there, or Goldfish of Justice's bust there. It's like, wow, that makes me.
That makes me
want to go play video games.
Right. This makes me suck. This makes me suck a lot. This is why I should never paint anymore.
Oh man, look! I mean,
jeez.
Such smooth yellows on the on these Imperial Fist too. Very nice.
Yep. This is an airbrush, bro. This is all hand painted. I don't see a single. Yeah, this is very clean work, by the way. Oh wow. Very clean work. No misstrokes.
Yeah, the Commodore does. I mean, Commodore's a fantastic painter.
He has to be. He's a Smash captain. Come on.
True. Just like our Smash captain.
Exactly. An incredible guy.
That scar over his eyes and the 5 o'clock shadow, just
really cool.
Wow.
Does it? Yeah. That was hard to see. All right, moving to the next one. All right, this is by this
Archer
guy.
says he's going to go ahead and burn his brushes and paint now. Save the effort for later.
This guy.
I recognise these.
This guy.
These look familiar.
Been looking at this tray for like 18 months.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is 500 plus hours of noise marine loving.
Holy cow. They're so noisy.
See the shoulder pads there, gloss varnished, ready for the decals.
Oh yeah, you want to ask him your question now, Nick, while we take a look at these guys?
Hold on, let me go back.
Yeah, why not? Freak.
Right.
Any advice on doing the decals? I'm doing the Slanesh ones, which obviously have a circle like the Imperial Fists do. Do you cut a slot at the top before you put them on, or do you put them straight on? Obviously, I'm going to be using the two, what's it called?
Microsol and Microset?
Microsol and Microsets, of course, yeah. Well, I know I've done decals before, but yeah, any advice when it comes to doing decals with a circle on?
I typically would like to just, when I do this, I take my my hobby knife, take the cover off, and fall on it on my face. So that's typically how I would like to do that.
I told you to get a salty answer out of him. He really has been frustrated with the circular shape.
Yeah, it's here's the thing. One thing that I found that has helped, and you I'm sure you can do this. You know, this is probably a good baiting question, but I have had absolute fits trying to get those stupid decals to go on there, and I've noticed one thing. Unless they've been softened for a long time in acid, or the mixture that you've used, it will just not go. And I have tried doing the split, and sometimes that does work. And I've got some that I have done. And the only problem is when you start splitting, you got to make sure you got to have a really good, sharp, hobby knife. Because I've had it where, okay, I got it split. Ow, there goes half the decal. I'm like, okay, they'll go.
I imagine as well, if you cut it, when you bend it in on the fold, the circle is no longer a circle as well.
Exactly, you're right, and now it becomes a cone. You've got a point that sticks up. So, but the one thing that I did find that really has helped, because I'm impatient. Let know if anybody picked up on that, but anyway, I'm very impatient when it comes to these kind of things, and so, but I decided, you know what, I'm just going to let it sit, and instead of sitting in water, I let it sit in vinegar, you know, which is very similar to what a lot of companies use. It's an acid. It breaks down the actual cellophane and softens it. So I'll get up, get a drink of water, do whatever, say hi to the wife, come back, and I'll see how the soft. I'll lift it up, and it should be as soft as a what do you call it? A contact lens. And that's how I've been judging it. So I've noticed that with the vinegar, I use just regular, white vinegar, and it seems to kind of soften it pretty well. Then I can take it off and put it on. But it's a thing; it's so soft it will literally fall apart. But I don't know. There's a balance there somewhere. But I found how that worked for me. But man, I tell you what, I've been struggling for those things forever.
Well, I've done a couple of shoulder pads extra, which I'm going to practice on first.
Right on.
And yeah, hopefully it will go well.
Yeah, Mini Warmutt says, yeah, vinegar works too. Old school trick. Yep. Oh, and what really got me thinking about vinegar is because Mythos had got me something from Hobby Lobby. I think, is that where you got it from, Mythos?
Yep, Hobby Lobby.
And so I opened it up, and it just wolfed of vinegar. I was like, okay, I guarantee you that's exactly what that is, just to soften that material. And so when I ran out, I just got some straight vinegar, poured it in there, and I've been using it since, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. It really helps to kind of break that material down and soften it without having to be, because you're right. I for a long time I would split it and then kind of bring it together, but it would produce a cone, like a little point. So instead of a decal, it's a little mini volcano. It's like, come on.
And as a brush licker, I can confirm Microsol and Microset do both taste like vinegar.
There you go. You got it from the brush licker straight here on the Frost and Fist. See?
So, a little trick that I have used, and of course none of mine are as round as an Imperial Fist or Slanesh decal, but one of the things I've started doing that I saw on another YouTube video is after I put it down with the Microsol and Microset and it's like halfway dried, before I go put on the top coat of Microsol and Microset, I'll hit it with a hairdryer for a little bit to soften up that decal, and it seems to smooth out my wrinkles.
I didn't think about that's actually a good idea, the hairdryer. I'm just afraid of, it warming other things up that it shouldn't.
I only worry about that with resin models because, plastic's not going to melt on you.
True that. Good point. So, yep, good question. All right, let's go back to this awesomeness here, because I remember when the first and I love his colors, because this is the color that he's used on his 13th company. At least it looks like. Is that right, Nick?
Yeah, the chaos bits. On my 13th company were Slanesh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've used the same, but my aim was to paint this pink better than I did on the 13th company. In terms of it's wet blended, and I'm happy to say I think they are better.
Heresy, nothing better than your 13th company.
But no, the blends are definitely more smoother. I've got the highlights in better positions. So I always find that quite hard with Space Marines in particular, is where to put the highlights on the armor. I find that always quite hard to choose that spot. But I think I did a better job on these.
I think I saw a really good video on that. If you watch this Hobby Basics Series 101 by this guy named IDIC BEER 40K, he's got a good little bit where he shows you how he highlights an Imperial Fist.
Oh yeah, I have to try and watch
that. Yeah. Oh yeah, that takes me back. How do I highlight? I don't like highlighting. Gotcha, freak.
Wasn't it? I think it was more about the mold lines, wasn't it? That
Yeah, it was a
inspired that
mold. It
series?
actually, well, it started one question and then it would led on to a whole series of
Yeah.
new stuff. So it was really
That is still my most watched playlist on the
it,
channel, though.
it's
Yeah.
fantastic. It really is. It's
Yeah.
one of the best series. I'm sitting there just soaking it up, like, holy cow! I remember the mold lines part. That was my favorite because you were just chilled out, sitting back there in a chair, and there you were scraping away these confounded mold lines, and I'm thinking, how does he have the patience to do this? And he's scraping it with a super, super sharp object. How does he have all his fingers together? You know, it just doesn't make any sense.
It's like the commercials. There's got to be a better way.
No, he was just, and that's now I do that. Every little thing that you put out in that, I do. It's like so crazy.
That's good.
We mentioned earlier that you did a gorgeous orc commission for CM War Games. So that's the next thing we've got on the screen for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we all know him as an amazing Necron painter, but here's some of the orc work that IDIC BEER 40K can crank out. And it is extremely well detailed.
Oh, you would be happy to know, and I guess proud that I've started wet blading. I'm when I'm going to actual detail work, I'm doing more with the brush rather than an airbrush. I'm finding wet blending to be a little easier now that I actually have a wet palette. So
Yeah, it makes a
cool.
big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does a lot. Oh wow, this is so cool.
So yeah, the bad ruck there on the left. Richard asked me to paint him like Jack Sparrow.
That's
so
awesome.
I got some Jack Sparrow pictures and tried to match the colours in as much as I could. And the banner that he's got, I tried to paint like a skull and crossbone pirate flag. Yeah, I had a lot of fun painting him.
That's awesome.
I'd already painted a bad ruck before. I painted one for Skarnir, but obviously totally different colours. So yes, it was good fun.
Awesome.
And then on the pain boy, I think that is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
Had a lot of fun doing the vials of with the liquid stuff in there. So that the first time I'd painted that with the bubbles and stuff. So I had fun with that. And there was two of these actually, one with blue and one with red.
Speaking of which, you went on these next Weird Boys. You also broke up their color scheme, made them vastly different for being able to pick out which one was which unit, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because obviously it's the same model. I actually painted 3 of these all together. I wanted them to all look different. Richard had this sort of colourful basing idea for his army, so he could see which units was which. So I ran with that, and then I just used the colour wheel to help me pick out the other colours for them. Yeah. In the end, they all look quite different, which is nice, even though it's the same model. The only difference that I could do was to put his staff in a slightly different position, because obviously these are fine cast models. But yeah, it took me. There was 6 characters. It took me 6 hours just to clean them up because of the fine cast was just so bad.
Nick, I gotta say this, and I don't say this enough. Man, you are an amazing artist. I mean, you do the most clean work I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
What I love about your orc work is that, people see a lot of your Necrons, and people see your Noise Marines, which are, the pink is very bright, but the some of the others, the rest of the Noise Marine is very dark, right?
Yeah.
But when people see your orcs, it's a good showcase that you not only can do the Necrons and the Marines very well, but you can do these very bright and vibrant orcs incredibly well and make them, just really pop, really make them vibrant, stand out in a way that catches your eye and is very aesthetically pleasing. It's just
Thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, Richard did ask for them to be bright colours, so that's what he got.
That's amazing.
But they were a lot of fun to paint, and I painted them sub-assembly as well. It was a lot easier doing it that way.
That's awesome. Mini War Mutt says, got to get going. I'm bummed out. I haven't had much time at the bench. Take care, Mythos, Alan, you sexy Necron.
Take
See you
care,
later.
buddy. Absolutely. Okay, this one I saw and I sent it to Mythos immediately. I was like, dude, look at this. I peed myself. I'm serious. This I love gorgeous transition on a model, especially on this Redemptor. It just looks great. So it's a black, looks like a black tone, almost like a black with dark blue. I can't tell if it just the transitions, the gradients is.
And this is the effect you're going for on your Space Wolves, right? The fade from black to the kind of blue jean color.
Yes. But here, maintaining the true core base of the Space Wolf colors. You know what I mean? Because it kind of ends on the Space Wolf gray blue, color. So, I'm gonna do another Redemptor, and I'm gonna paint him just like this. This is gonna be my model right here. This is my sample.
I was about to say, this would be, holding on to this would be a great sample image for like a lot of your Space Wolves.
Absolutely, I am going to make one like this. This is just beautiful. I don't know. That just I'm easy to excite, I guess.
No, I mean I love blue and black, and the way they've transitioned these two together, just amazing. And the orange to yellow, extremely.
I love that. It's kind of like my Imperial Fist with Space Wolf.
I assume it's airbrushed, yeah?
Yeah,
it looks like it.
Yeah, that's definitely airbrush. You can see more of the transition and gradients. There's no way that I can do this at my level of wet blending.
See, this right here, and don't get me wrong, I love my custom chapter colors. However, this right here is the kind of thing that makes me wish that I had painted mine a more traditional color set, because this looks just absolutely incredible.
I'm still aiming for that though, Nick. You know what I'm saying? Ever since you've kind of because the last time we had you on, you were pretty adamant that you're not a big airbrush person. You're more like if you can do it with the with actual hand brushes, that you would do that, and I'm okay with that. I don't disagree. I think that is your forte. I'm striving to do more with a hand brush versus airbrushing. It's just that transition, that learning curve it's quite large. It really is.
No, absolutely. And obviously to paint that with a hand brush is going to be not only very difficult but very time consuming. It's just your personal preference on a look, isn't it?
I guess, but I've seen people do stuff like this with hand brushing, not airbrushed. So it is possible.
It's definitely possible. It's just A, it's a different skill level, isn't it?
Right.
And B, it's going to take a very long time.
Right.
So a lot longer. I mean, obviously the skill level doing it with an airbrush, as you know, that's going to be very difficult to do like that. You're going to have a lot of skill to do it.
Right.
And I don't knock anybody with an airbrush, and I appreciate that it is a skillful thing. It's just that I just prefer my manual brush,
Yeah, but still, to be well-rounded, I think that would be a great challenge, and that's something that I'm leaning more towards. It's funny because Mythos has come from that school of thought. Is he started with hand brushing and then migrating towards airbrushing, where I started with a little bit of hand brushing. I still do that in the detail work, but not to this degree. Where Mythos has been doing wet blending way before I even got my wet palette. So, and so now I'm coming from the back end where I'm starting from the airbrush side, now moving towards the hand painting side, and I'm having a huge respect and appreciation for it, and for those that actually can do gorgeous work with just doing hand painting. Again, my respect to those that can do it, because it is challenging. I'm up for the challenge for sure. And it's definitely a lot easier with a wet palette. So
yeah.
We had the Pale Orc and the Commodore join us. Good to have you both. Says again, I'm late when you're covering my stuff. I need to get better about warning you when we're going to be, bragging on you. I apologize, Commodore. The Pale Orc says, "Good morning, beautiful people. Good to have you, my friend." I think this is our last one too, which is good because we're coming right up on 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I would attempt to read that out, but
Tupac. Okay. So it says Tupav Cosmad. Come on, Tupav Cos Madness. Tupav,
Yep.
Yeah,
Tupav
looks
Cos
about right.
Madness. Yeah. So yeah, we'll leave it there.
That does
God,
look awesome. That is so nice, isn't it?
it is gorgeous.
oh man,
Okay.
this definitely makes the white scar in me happy.
Wow. So here's the thing that I can see this most times. When you're doing a picture, at least for me, I take a pic and I try to keep distance, so you're not seeing every little bus stroke, in the model. Okay, this person actually takes a close-up shot and not a single brush stroke out of place.
It's incredible.
I am blown away. I am absolutely flabbergasted. This is and the thing is that you have weathering, you've got scratches, you've got damage, and geez. Why am I painting again?
Right. We'll go play some Final Fantasy.
Exactly. God, it's like why am I? This isn't hobby. This is torture.
This is it's just so well done. I love the rockets coming out the front.
Yes, that's incredible.
I love the way the banners are rippling in the wind too. They're not just stuck on there. They've got the rippling look to them.
And it's such okay. You want to remind me of Mythos?
What's that?
It reminds me of Chinese New Year when you're standing in the front with your gift, and the Chinese New Year dragon comes to accept it.
Ooh.
That's just exactly what just first thing that reminded me of, because when I lived in New Jersey, we'd go to Philly to Chinatown, and we would participate, and this is exactly what it just reminds me of. That right there, just that's the first thing that came to my mind was, you put your gift down by the door, and dragon comes and accepts it. This is just crazy. Look, oh, love that, absolutely love that. Jeez. And just like that, man, that was probably some of the best art of the week that we've had.
Yeah, this was a great art of the week.
Yeah, some lovely stuff there.
All right. So before we move on to closing thoughts, I just want to make sure that all of us are taking care during this time, self-isolating where we can, making sure that we're taking care of ourselves, monitoring our health, of course. And everybody seems to finish their videos right now with the reminder to everybody wash their hands. So
and don't listen to Chaplain Emo. He doesn't know what he's talking.
But
grumpy.
in this time though, I mean, the world is getting crazy out there, and even things like toilet paper can be. Toilet paper is like it's a gold mine right now, right? I mean, you go in the stores and they're like all Western style cleared out gold mines where there's nothing but dust left, right? And it's become a rarity in the world, right? Have you guys tried getting your hands on a roll of toilet paper lately? Which, by the way, brings us to 100% true Elstonation fact number 79. And that is where did I leave
We've
that?
got this. We're
Transmission. There we go. You want to read it or shall I?
Do it, bro.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, please remember that we have on standby at all times a whole team of researchers, scientists, fact checkers. So, appraisers and financial experts from all over the world have crunched the numbers. The results are in. A single miniature painted by Elstonation is still more valuable than a case of toilet paper, even right now.
There you go. There you go.
It's a 100% true fact, ladies and gentlemen.
And how many scientists did we lose getting that information? So, I mean, I felt we may have lost a lot. I mean,
I don't have the exact numbers, but I have their names.
Yeah, we're going to hold.
We're sending out thoughts and prayers to their families right
exactly. Because they,
or scientists and researchers.
Yes. So.
All right. So, randomness aside, our lovely guest, IDIC BEER 40K. Any closing thoughts for you, good sir?
Just a massive thank you for having me, really, because I've always enjoyed live streaming with you two. So, just thank you, and yeah, wash your hands.
Absolutely. Until you've washed your hands, until you've made enough hand signs to perform a jutsu. No, I'm sorry. That's something else. Never mind. Freak, any closing thoughts from you, my brother?
See that, Rob? I get closing thoughts this time. Just relax.
Wow.
I'm so happy to have Nick on tonight. Yeah, it's just tonight now. Really glad. I'm so glad we were able to, redeem ourselves from the last fiasco that we had. We started off a little on a bumpy side, earlier today, but we were able to, I think, pull through. And once again, we're not worthy. It just, you gave us our boost, our big break. And one thing that I really enjoy about you, Nick, is the fact that it's never about you. It's always about promoting others and encouraging others, regardless of their skill level, regardless of where they are in the hobby, and where they stand. And like when Mythos and I first started, we were like, we're just kind of. And I'm talking about our skill level, not so much in where we are on our channel, but I think in our skill level to begin with, I can say that I didn't feel very, much of anything. But the fact that you would, say, hey, you guys are doing great. You guys, keep it up, keep up the good work. I really like what y'all do. That IDIC BEER, and I know the rest of the stream, the guys in the chat can attest to that. You somehow magically traverse time and space to somehow comment on everybody's stinking channel. And I don't know how you do that. But for the love of all that's decent, I don't want to know, because you might break something. But anyway, thank you.
Almost every channel, but not all.
But no, man, I mean, we thank you so much for all that you've done for us. You're a great friend, and we really do appreciate everything you've done for us and the community overall.
The community for sure.
Absolutely. You've as a matter of fact, there was a point where, we had a little gray and darkness in the community, but you stepped to the challenge and you brought it all back. And, I feel like you've done a great service to the hobby community, and we appreciate you doing that, especially in the Unity, wargaming group. And I really think that has pulled us a long way. So absolutely, my hat's off to you, sir, for what you've done for us all here.
Just comment on your comments about the community hero. I have to say, I play a little game with myself that if I get to a video and comment it first before I see an IDIC BEER signature, I'm just like, yes, I got to one. He's literally everywhere.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he traverses time and space. He bends time and space to do that. It's like, how does he do that? The video's not even out yet. He's already commented. Great video. What? I didn't even know it was there.
The Pale Orc says he must be using bots. Zane's busting my balls because he's like, how do you have the names and not know the numbers of the scientists that you lost? I'm just saying, man, have you ever been handed a list of names, pages long, and just took the time to count them up?
Right.
And if you tell me that you number every list that's handed to you, I'm going to call you a liar. Anyways.
Oh, gosh.
Closing thoughts. Of course, I also feel like IDIC Beer is a hobby hero. Because responding to one of his giveaways is what made me and Freak say, you know what? Because he filmed it, the giveaway video, and I did the response, and we were like, we could do this. We could do a whole channel. And, we're like, we just very, very, very timidly say, hey, Mr. IDIC Beer, you started the channel. Will you watch our one video? And looking back at it, Freak and I, last time we got together and hung out, we went back and watched that first episode.
Yep.
And it's so bad. It's so bad. But instead of pointing out to us how bad it was, it's so bad, guys. Literally.
It's cringy. It was cringy bad.
My wife cringed. Lily in the background. We were rewatching it and she cringed. But instead of telling us how cringy it was, he said, wow, that's a great first video. Keep it up. And I'd like to see where you guys go as a channel. And that meant the world to us. And we stuck with it. And you guys now have going on 4 years of cringiness now. So.
Right. Exactly. Thanks to Nick. Yeah, I blame Nick for this.
That meant a lot to us. And I was a big fan before that, too, because I stumbled across his Year of the Wolf series that are probably never coming back.
Oh,
anyways.
I will remember you.
But that made me go out, and seeing his 13th company made me pick up an Eye of Terror, which, by the way, is autographed to Mythos. Stay frosty, my friend. IDIC Beer. Oh. And you can also find on his channel a playlist where he made this Iron Priest on Thunderwolf.
With a dead Imperial fist on the ground, bleeding.
Dead Imperial fist on it.
Decapitated.
I made up for it though, Fred.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It looks freaking amazing. Yes.
With the custom wolf head on the servo arm there. Actually, everything about this Tempest hammer, which can be replaced with the regular Thunder Hammer's Tempest.
You need to do that as art of the week next week, Mythos. You've got to do that.
Oh yeah, I will definitely take some glamour pics. This Hellfrost pistol, by the way, is custom and swappable with the bolt pistol and a bolter. So this is one of the crown jewels of my entire collection.
And something that Rob always pointed out, that miniature tells a story. When you look at it, it tells a fantastic story. Not a happy one, but definitely tells a story. And I love that when you look at it, you can say, okay, I see what's going on here. Bad things happened.
I think maybe you're reading this the wrong way. Look, the wolf is not eating the body, right? And the rider is shooting out somewhere in the distance.
Mythos.
Mythos,
he put blood on the mouth.
Maybe
look at it, Mythos. He put freaking blood on the mouth, Mythos. I don't want to hear your crap. Look at the teeth, Mythos. There's blood on the teeth and on the snout. I saw that. That's the first thing I saw. How could you tell me that? Oh, well, because I wanted to give him the benefit of that doubt too. But no, I saw the blood, Mythos. It's right there. Look at it. There's blood. There's blood, Mythos. Freaking blood.
Oh, man. Lots more comments on IDIC Beer. IDIC Beer bends time and space. Are we talking about Doctor Who or Dr. Nick? Yes.
Nick, yeah.
He Miniatures Paintbrush says he commented on my video next week that I haven't even made yet. Inquisitor Zane says, is that a bike? And IDIC got me into Warhammer after many years. Now there is a Necron revival. I feel like just looking at the Unification group, IDIC Beer is single-handedly responsible for an increase in Necron players. I really feel like
I
that.
believe that too.
Thank you so much. You are a legend. You are definitely one of the people that we admire most in this hobby, Dick. Thanks for coming on with us today. And honestly, thanks for being an encouraging, great guy and a good friend. We really appreciate you, brother. We also appreciate all these people supporting the stream today. We've had so many
Absolutely.
great people
Holy
participating in the
cow.
chat.
And you stayed
And
here.
speaking of support, we want to thank anyone who supports us, whether it's pressing the like button, the share button, whether it's someone who checks out our Patreon and supports us that way. And right now, we're taking the opportunity to thank all of our patrons.
Oh, it's going to get nasty.
I'm going to go ahead and warn, guys, I get a little excited during this point. So if you're plugged into earphones or anything like that, I get a little loud sometimes. You may want to take it down a tone.
Right.
And Nick, feel free to put me on mute.
Yeah, he gets a little rambunctious, but we're okay. We like that because we, pays the bills. So.
But I want to thank our patrons, right? I'm going to start off by thanking Bloodclaw, Running Bear,
The Running Bear.
Bloodclaw, Richard at the Nerd Life,
The Nerd Life.
Bloodclaw, Big Mac Danskull,
Big Mac.
Bloodclaw, Mini Warmutt,
The Ultimate Warmutt.
Bloodclaw, Big D at the Gamecraft Dragon,
Because he's got a big D.
Bloodclaw, Chief Live Gaming,
The chiefest of chiefs.
Grey Hunter, Inquisitor Zane,
The Zane. That's all I got.
Grey
Sorry.
Hunter, Brother Roxas,
Roxas, IT Master.
Wolfguard, Kalo,
Hello there, Kalo.
and our absolute smash captain, moderator of this chat, Wolfguard Archer.
Smash Captain Archer.
And from the mysterious reaches within the warp where the 13th Company roams, hunting down chaos in all of its forms, we have a mysterious Wolf Lord Anonymous.
We don't know who he is. But we
And
will
of
find
course-
you, and we will thank you.
We also have the man, the myth, the legend who actually smoked Gazgold Thraka, and then Ragnar took credit for it.
Yep, that's right.
Ultimate Wolf Lord Beast!
The Wolf Lord.
Guys, we thank you so much for joining. We thank you so much for supporting us. Again, whether you're watching our stuff, sharing our stuff.
Can't do it without you.
We love you guys, all of it, and especially appreciate you guys hanging out on our Patreon. If you guys like tonight's show, please make sure that you grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below and make sure that you're part of any of these ridiculous conversations that we've had today, or weigh in on some of our thoughts on the new Psychic Awakening stuff and the new box release. Also, make sure that, I mean, who's not subscribed to IDIC BEER 40K?
Come on.
But if you are one of those people who are not subscribed to IDIC BEER 40K, please go check him out, especially for amazing Necron content. If you guys are not yet subscribed to this channel, then Freakalicious and I would love to have for you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. Till next time, guys.
Stay frosty!
Frosty.